Good morning from Supersport Park in Centurion for Legends Day and also the celebration of 40 years of Supersport Park being in existence. The festivities start with the ladies' match between the Fidelity Titans and the DP World Lions. I'm Ken Borland, and it's a great pleasure to have alongside me Colin Kowa. Colin, this should be a very exciting day.
Yeah, first and foremost, thanks, Ken. Thanks. It's always a pleasure to be here with you on top, commentating over this game. Fantastic looking day, Ken, I must say. Just driving through here to Pretoria this morning, I thought it looks already like it's going to be a beautiful cricket day.
Yeah, there's still quite a healthy covering of cloud over Supersport Park, but the forecast is good. I'm sure it'll burn away. The news from the middle is that the DP World Lions have won the toss and elected to bowl first. And of course the Lions, this is the first time they're in action since the real tough disappointment for them of losing both the matches on finals weekend in Durban to Western Province. They the Lions topped the log in both the 50 over and the T20 competitions. This of course is a T20 game. But the Titans, well, anytime they come up against the Lions, it's a Yuxke derby, Colin, isn't it? There's always something in it.
Yeah, this it's like a derby in soccer with Pirates and Chiefs. This is exactly it. It brings out the best out of both these teams when they always play against each other. And it's going to be a beautiful match to see as we see Relebohile Mkhize opening the bowling from the main grandstand end. And as you rightfully said earlier on, that the Lions won the toss and decided to bowl, and we're quite looking forward to it. And see some new, not really new names in the Titan squad, but a few new names. I think young players that they are looking at maybe for the next coming season, as this season is already done. But maybe they're already starting to plan ahead. I know that they've got one of the players, for example, on loan, Thelma Makubela, who they are also looking at from a contractual point of view for the next coming season. So that's great to see from Titans looking like they're already planning ahead.
Well, Thelma from Easton's, your neck of the woods, what a talent she has. But it looks like Chanel Fenter is going to be facing the first delivery from Mkhize. Oh, bit of a wild swing across the line. Mkhize getting it up full straight away. She's been one of the stars of the season for the DP World Lions, hasn't she, Colin? Just an absolute revelation.
Yeah, very much impressed. I was very much impressed because I've just followed her career a bit, just watching, and I've been fortunate to have commentated in about 3 of the games that she's played in. And very, very interesting and very consistent in the bowling. I love her action.
Again, going nice and for Mkhize. She does get a bit of swing. And, of course, the left arm variation is not something we see a lot of in ladies cricket, specifically in terms of pace bowlers.
Yeah, and I was just saying about Mkhize that the one other thing with her is the confidence she's been gaining as she's been consistently playing. It looks like the coach, Mr. Sandile Masingemi, has been backing her this season.
Simone Lawrence beautifully put away between mid-wicket and mid-on for 4. Mkhize just getting a little bit straight there. And, yeah, just to correct, it's Simone Lawrence who is opening the batting with Katie Pryor, and Lawrence gets the first boundary of the day.
Yeah, beautiful shot. Not looking to hit it hard, just stroked it beautifully between that gap and giving Tabete, Nkuli, the fielder, not even a chance to get around the ball.
Just pulling her length back a bit, some keys, and better line as well, are bowled. So the Titans finished third in both competitions last season, but it was the 50 over competition where they actually finished tied on points with Western Province, but missed out on making the final on net run rate. Again, Lawrence just about a man coming through that ideally, and there you see her practicing. It should have gone through the covers, but she was aiming mid-on. So the Titans will kind of feel like this is the final that they could have played in against the Lions. They always loved playing the Lions, and missed out just on playing the final against them.
Yeah, I mean, both teams, they're trophy contenders. They're used to playing for trophies.
Beautifully hit down the ground. Can Cowling? Oh no, she's dived over it, unfortunately. Second boundary of the over for Lawrence. Good way to end the first over. Fidelity Titans, 8 without loss.
Yeah, as I was mentioning there, Ken, earlier on, that, both teams would feel a bit not happy with the season if they haven't achieved really winning at least one trophy or so, because they are so used to winning and so used to getting amongst the trophies that a season without a trophy for them feels like they've underachieved, and hence you'll see maybe some sort of cricket in that regard, just coming out here playing and just trying to prove the point that yes, maybe we might not have made it in the finals and the trophies, but we're still title contenders, and maybe this is part of their planning for next season.
Well, especially the Lions playing in 2 finals and not managing to win a trophy. It's a successful season, but it hurts, no doubt. And this is a chance just to get back out on the field and heal some of those wounds. The Titans, had a really rough start to the season, and they were flirting with relegation at one stage. So I think to finish third in both competitions was a real credit to the way they pulled things together at the back end of the campaign. It's going to be Faye Cowling who's going to be bowling from the Henops River end, and Katie Pryor will be facing her first ball. Cowling, of course, one of the most promising all-rounders, young all-rounders in the system. Just slanting down towards the leg side, that.
Yeah, that one going slightly, not even an attempt there to appeal for the LBW. Quite clear that it was going down the leg side from Cowling, so she was clear from the onset.
The 2 fielders allowed outside the ring in the power play are at third man and fine leg. That's nicely bowled by Cowling, and Pryor's wanting a really dodgy single. Well sent back by Lawrence. Runouts were actually a feature of the Lions season. One of the things they spoke about in their post-mortem of the campaign. They had, I think, 4 runouts across the 2 matches on finals weekend. And there barely seemed to be a game where they didn't have a run out. So something they'll be working hard on in the off-season, starting today. Ooh. Bit short, and Pryor can't make contact with the pool, but she will get the leg by.
Yeah, these 2 teams, I mean, if you remember just in Feb when they played that game, I think they were playing it at Old Eds. And it was a very, very low score from a Titans point of view. And Lions got, Lions scored a very low total, but Titans struggled to chase that. They got to defend it, the Lions winning that one. So there's also that little bit of history that they'll want to just remind each other, or maybe Lions remind Titans that we still got an upper hand on you, as much as, yes, there's those issues with trophies. But that's always the beauty about this game.
Again, Cowling just slanting down leg, and umpire Ryan Hendricks calls the wide. Nice to see Johan Klutter standing alongside Ryan Hendricks. Johan Klutter, international umpire in his day, has retired from full-time professional umpiring, if you like, but really nice to see him standing on this day of celebration at Supersport Park. Oh, that's just a bit of a wild swipe by Lawrence. It was a good length ball from Cowling.
Yeah, George Lutz is still very much involved with schoolboy cricket, still very much involved in even adjudicating at that level, looking over the umpires who are coming through at that level. So it's good to see him also at this stage again, where this is the big stage where he used to be, but very, very much still involved and very much involved in looking after the crop that's coming through.
Yeah, Cowling's wrist is just breaking. Unfortunately, in her delivery and sending the ball down leg, another wide. Yeah, we are also celebrating 40 years of Supersport Park today, and Johan Klutter certainly played a big role in those 40 years as one of the best umpires to come out of Northern Gauteng. This time Lawrence does make contact. It will be a quick signal to the deepman on.
Yeah, then just bowling it slightly, it's down leg. And if you look at her field placing, Cowling, you could see that the plan actually between her and the captain is to bowl it slightly just outside that off stump. And at this stage so far, she hasn't really gotten it in that line. She's just slightly bowling it down leg. And it becomes easy pickings for the batters on the leg side.
Yep, 5 balls this over, and I think I can remember just one. The one that Lawrence played and missed that was outside off stump. Pryor back on strike now for the last ball of the second over. Cowling goes short. Oh, spliced, but it was more towards square leg than mid-wicket. And they will get a slightly fortunate single. 2 overs gone, 13 without loss.
Yeah, 13 without loss, and looking at a run rate achieved currently at 6.5 runs and over, Titans will be smiling. The wickets not lost, run rate achieved beautiful, so they'll be happy with it, and there will be a bit of chat with Cowling in terms of that over, what line she needs to be bowling, just to clean up that if we are not picking up wickets, let's at least not give away too much runs and over.
Absolutely, and just looking at the pitch before play started, it looks like a good batting deck to me. It had a bit of a shine to it, which to me is always a sign that there are lots of runs in there. It's probably going to be a bit slow still this morning, and whatever life is in it, it's probably best for bowling now. Here's Mkeys for her second over. Oh, the inside edge. Oh, Katie Pryor will get at least a couple, maybe 4. Good sprawling save on the boundary. We'll keep it to just 2 lucky runs.
Yeah, good chase there by Tabete there on the field. That's what the captain will love to see. That's what Mkiza, the bowler, will appreciate. That your fielders are prepared to run in and go save those, because initially it looked like it was going to run all the way for 4. So it's good fielding there.
Well, if it had been a boundary, it would have been really rough on Relebohile Mkeys. Again, gets it right up there. Her control is really excellent, isn't it?
Yeah, no, she's gotten to be like that. As I said earlier on, that her confidence has also grown. And just coming back and talking about the pitch, Ken, I think the people who will enjoy it is the big names that will be playing later on in the game, because it really, really looks like it's a batting wicket.
Just a little slight shuffle to leg by Pryor as the delivery was bowled, trying to open up that offside, but all she can do is pick out the fielder.
Yeah, so far good over from Kiza. This accepted that inside edge that nearly went down for a boundary. She's been on the spot, on the money, and just requiring of the batters to be extra careful and not looking to play those expensive shots that you would have seen them play when Cowling was bowling on the other end.
They're going to have to be quick. Oh, the fielder just couldn't quite gather there. That's Khamotso Rapu.
Yeah, the captain there, Togazaki.
Ah, sorry, the captain, Rasibe Tozake. They are spin twins, so you can forgive me.
Yeah.
We're a long way from the action here, but you can just about make out number 29. Actually looks like a 20 to me. Oh, beautifully struck over mid-wicket. Lawrence, second time she's gone in that general area, and 4 more.
Yeah, good pickup, good nice pickup, clean shot, just done the job. Nice and easy. Very safe shot, as much as it was hit in the air, but you could pick up the cap there, that you just hit it over the fielders in the ring. still in the power play. Those are very much safe shots.
Perhaps just thinking of a field change, the Lions, but no, they're going to continue with third man and fine leg as the boundary riders. Too short, and away it goes in exactly the same place. 4 more to Lawrence, and the end of the third over, 24 without loss.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be continuing the can with Cowling from the Hannops River end, and she'll be bowling still to the Titans. I must say they're managing this very, very well with no wickets down. This is a stage, and you'll appreciate this as a coach, that earlier on within the power play they're making use of it, and they still got their wickets in hand to then kick off even better later on.
It was nicely struck, but straight to the straight mid wicket by Katie Pryor. Faye Cowling didn't really get it together in her first over. It only went for 5. And ironically, Mkhize has only really bowled 1 poor delivery and has gone for 19 and 2. But I imagine Captain Tozake is thinking of changes in the power play. That's beautifully struck that time by Katie Pryor. What a lovely shot that is. Beautiful balance, crisply struck through mid-wicket for 4.
Yeah, what a beautiful cricket shot that was. Even the balance, I mean, that's exactly what coaches will appreciate. I mean, she didn't even fall over, just managed. And the beauty with that is she wasn't even looking to hit it hard. She just stroked it and placed it nicely in that gap and to get that 4 run. So beautiful shot.
Shot of the day so far. Yeah. And I'm sure that will change as we continue through this exciting day's cricket. Cowling. Oh, what a catch. Beautifully taken. Katie Pryor could barely believe it. She struck that beautifully as well. And Faye Cowling, she's very tall. To get down there in her delivery, in her post-delivery stride, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and taking into consideration that she was running in, just finished the action, and that ball keeping that low, those are very, very difficult to take. And Faith Cowling doing a fantastic job to take that catch. And now Titans are now 28 for 1 after 3.3, and just slowing down at least, just take the wicket, just put a bit of brakes in terms of that scoring run rate, but we will see with the new batter coming in terms of what is also the instruction from the booth there. Is it continue with what we've been doing, or do you accelerate even more? But good take that, I must say, by Cowling.
Well, we were saying that the DP World Lions needed a breakthrough halfway through the power play, and the Fidelity Titans off to a great start, and Captain Tozaki persevered with Cowling, and she's come up with the goods via a really brilliant return catch. Thelma Makubela now comes to the wicket. Seen her play in the Global Cricket Tournament a few times, where Easton's actually could play against these two teams in that tournament, the Lions and the Titans. And, well, they've won it last year, Easton's, and they always compete really strongly. And Thelma Makubela has looked like a real talent playing against these Division 1 bowlers. Nicely behind that and kept out for her first delivery.
Yeah, a Division 2 player, just getting behind a Faye Cowling in Division 1, that will also just boost a little bit of confidence, maybe just reassure herself to say, okay, maybe I can play at this level. And Titans at this stage, one of the players that they are looking at to maybe bring on. I mean, they've got a good batting lineup, I must say, Titans.
Again, Carling just straying down there. Look, I'm sure Eastern's, who are obviously pushing for promotion to Division 1, they've got so much talent in that area. They'd be sad to lose a player of Makubela's ability, but I think for her good and probably the national interest, you want to see her exposed to Division 1 as soon as she's ready. Short top edge stroke, mid wicket running in, and well, that's a disappointing end. It was just too big a ball for her to be trying to hook that so early in her innings.
Yeah, second ball of her innings. New, as we've just said, also at this level, you'd think she would get a bit of respect to say, let me see what Faye Cowling is doing. Let me respect each ball, and if anything, maybe let me take one and be on the other side just to cool off down. But beautiful bowling, beautiful take by the fielder there, and all of a sudden Titans are 28 for 2 after now 4 overs.
Well, 2 wickets in the over for Faye Cowling. What a comeback, and really excellent use of the short ball there. And well, that was perhaps a pivotal over in this power play. So the new batter is going to be Luyanda Nzuza. Very talented player as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she was originally with Free State, and came to the Titans last season. I think maybe didn't have quite the sort of season she would have wanted to have had, but she too is a talented all-rounder, really good batter, good bowler, good spin bowler as well.
Yeah, and not getting a lot of game time as she would have loved to, but this is, I guess, her opportunity, and this is that kind of game where I think they've been given the opportunities. I mean, they've set down a few names. I mean, the Machekas, the Borch, all those kind of, Jafta, some strong batters. So this is an opportunity for these ones to come shine.
Sarah Nettleton has joined the attack. She does generally bowl inside the power play very successfully. Ooh. Oh, nicely lofted, long on. Can't quite get there. Just the single.
Yeah, a bit of a stop and starter there from the captain, Raisibe Ndozake. If we could running in and not maybe anticipating that one, but at the end a good stop in any case, not to give the bound, but good pickup by the batter to just hit it nice and straight.
Yeah, it was a very good strike by Lawrence. Nzuza faces her first ball. Nicely cut, but Manak at point, quickly across. Normally a wicketkeeper, Rosita Manak, but Kiamokhetse Tweni is behind the stumps today, and she's an exciting young talent as well.
Yeah, Manak, beautiful player. She was loaned out to Eastern Province a couple of weeks ago, playing in that Dev 2 competition, and she scored 100 there, keeping a wicket, and you could see the kind and the talent that she's got.
That'll just be 1 to long on. Boundary fielders are long on and cow corner, probably as you'd expect for a spinner. Again, Tazaki called into action. Quite difficult sometimes when the captain is one of the better fielders, because in T20 you generally want your best fielders to be where the ball's going to go the most, and against a spinner, long on is one of those positions.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you could see that there is already a plan that when it's Lawrence facing, they tend to set the field deeper. But looks like there won't be change of bowling from the Hanops River. They'll continue with Cowling, but looks we will definitely have a change in commentary upstairs here. And we'll have Miss Annika Havenga joining me and Ken taking a little bit of a break, and will join us later on.
Yeah, a special guest, Ane Havenga, and a rarity. She's a bull supporting Western Cape person.
And this one gets picked up by Lawrence there, but it's just going to bounce slightly short to the fielder there who's fielding at that deep mid-wicket at the boundary, and is just going to manage to pick up one. But yeah, Anna, welcome.
Thanks, Colin. It's really nice to join you guys. For the first few overs, I've been sitting on the sidelines just observing. And what a lovely day it is to watch on cricket, and especially to see a big crowd out already. It's lovely to see all the fans out supporting the women. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, Cowling now just bowling that one outside off stump, and a huge swipe there by the batter there, Nzuza, but missing it, and that would be highly appreciated, and maybe from Ntoza Karaisibe appreciate to see that the batters maybe are looking to play, and because when you've got those kind of chances, you've got a chance to pick up a wicket. This time naughty from Zuza bowling, from Cowling bowling it to Nzuza and down leg, and immediately there the umpire, Mr. Hendricks, calling it a wide.
Yes, Faye Cowling's been bowling so well this morning, and she's actually been quite disciplined. So just 3 extras so far in this morning, but obviously we're only in the 6 overs, so 3 overs is not exactly what they would like. But overall quite disciplined so far.
And this time she bowls it nice full ball to Nzuza, who's on the front foot to defend it there, and a dot ball. Dot ball in this T20 game is highly appreciated. If it's not a wicket, if it's a dot ball, you are happy.
Yes, definitely. I think from the bowling perspective, they love a dot ball, but from their batting perspective, they want to put up a show for this crowd. So for them, not welcomed at all.
This time Zuza picks it up, and it's going to go all the way. There is a bit of a chase from the fielder, but the ball is going to win that race, and it's signaled 4 runs there by Mr. Hendrick. Fantastic pickup shot that by Zuza. Nice and safe, because you can see that the fielders are in the ring. You just pick it up over the ring, you are safe.
Yes, and Zuza tried that a bit earlier on, as you said, in the over. That was where she had the swing and the miss, but it was almost exactly the same ball, and she tried that shot, but that swing and the miss was not in her favour, but she got that same ball again, and this time she was right, and it was a brilliant boundary from her.
Yeah, now it will be interesting to see what the response will be from Faye Cowling. Oh, not a response that you would love to see, because he immediately tried to push a bit of pace in it, but that's what happens when you do that, and now bowling it down leg and immediately called a wide. It's not the response that the captain, Ntoza Karaisibe, will be looking for from her bowler.
No, definitely not. Almost now 4 similar deliveries in a row, but 2 wides from that, which is not ideal.
This time around, bowls it exactly where maybe should have, short of a length, just outside that off stump, exactly where you would want to be bowling, and just getting a little bit of an inside edge, but not that much, but at least safe. Dot ball, like we've said, Anna, that's what you would want.
Yes, definitely. So it's now potentially the last ball of the over. So far, there was a few extras. As I just said, the Lions were quite disciplined, and by saying that, they proved me wrong with 2 wides in this over. So this could potentially be the last ball to end Faye Cowling's 3rd over. Let's see what she does.
Yeah, she just bowled a short bit of a doubt frame from Nzuza, but because it was slow, she could then later react to it and pulled it safe to that mid-wicket deep, and it ends the 6th over with the score on 39 for 2.
Yes, so far quite positive from the Lions. I said Faye Cowley in there with her 3 overs gone. She has 1 left. A very young talent in this Lions squad. It's good to see her here. She's obviously been very involved with the Proteas juniors, the women, playing herself through the ranks, under 19, etc. So it's so nice to see her in the setup today. I think the Lions and the Titans have a few players who's quite young, but also some experienced player, and that's such a nice balance to have in both teams. I mean, you have someone like Faye Cowley playing with Sunette Viljoen-Louw, and in the Titans side you have someone like Katie Pryor, and then you have another young player coming up the ranks, getting her opportunity. So it's just lovely to see.
Yeah, Sarah Nethling to continue from the grandstand end. Bowling to Nzuza, who just backs off to play that straight to the captain and Ntozaka at mid-on. Opens up with a dot ball, and immediately that dot ball would put a bit of pressure on Nzuza.
Yes, I think that's definitely the plan with Sarah Nettleton's spin.
Again, he bowls it and rocks back is Nzuza, but doesn't manage to, because the aim was to, I think, hit it into that gap, but Nethling just pressing and pushing her backwards. Oh, there's a pickup there. There's a fielder underneath. It takes a beautiful catch at the boundary there. What a fantastic catch that. Yo!
I think it's Sunette Viljoen-Louw. It looks like her.
Yes, it is. Sunette Viljoen-Louw took a brilliant catch there, and when we thought it's going all the way for a 6, she just dove and took that catch. Fantastic. And even when she landed, it didn't pop out. That's what makes it even better. But that dive must be catch of the day so far.
100%. The dive, as you said, the ball not popping out of her hands as she fell. And I mean, she was so close to the boundary line, but making sure that she's not touching the boundary rope was so impressive. So there were so many factors contributing to this brilliant catch. Wow.
Yeah.
What a privilege to see it with our own eyes today.
Yeah, and those are tone setters in a match. A catch like that sort of sets the tone. It gives that extra oomph, that extra boost to the fielding team to just say, if she can do it, let's all now round up and also try our best. But what a fantastic catch.
As you said, I was almost ready to say what a shot by the batter. I was ready to compliment that. I mean, it was an absolutely incredible hit from her. She middled it. And I thought this was a brilliant maximum of the day. So I was getting ready to say that. And out of nowhere, the keeper, the fielder, Sunette Viljoen-Louw, just showed some incredible fielding and athleticism.
And those 2 dot balls, Anna, earlier on, sort of put the pressure. Those 2 dot balls, and it amounted to that shot because she felt, well, we are a bit behind here. We've just faced 2 balls. And then she went for the shot. And now the 4th ball, again from Nethling, going for a dot ball. So far this over, no runs. And bowling to the new batter there, Lesedi Mashida, who's coming in this over now. It's 5 dot balls. And there we see the bowler Nethling saying to Ntozaka Sibe, just go to the boundary, anticipating that there might be a big shot coming here because there hasn't been runs so far in this over. And here's a big shot, but it's hit on the ground. Not nicely timed, but it's hit straight to the fielder at square leg. And it ends the 7th over, and the score is still on 39 for 3, because the 6th over was 39 for 2.
And I think something that's just incredible, sorry, that I just quickly checked up on, Sunette Viljoen-Louw is in her 40s. We know that she's played some cricket since the beginning, almost 20 years ago. I think she started playing cricket for the Lions before I was born. And she obviously represented South Africa at the Olympics, got us a medal for a javelin throw. And I mean, making a return to cricket after that, just because it's purely a passion project almost for her. But again, just showing how fit she is, how much she loves the game, and how she still gives her everything. So before we move on to the next over, I first just want to compliment Sinead for on being 42 years old and doing that. So I think that just shows how important it is to be fit, to bring your best. It's just an absolute role model for everyone out there.
Yeah, bowling change now from the Hanops River end, and it's Refilwe Mancho who will be bowling now to Lawrence. And she opens up with one going down leg wide. They've been quite naughty, these Lions bowlers, just bowling a little bit down leg, which is one thing that Mkhize got right, because from the very onset she was on the spot, bowling it just middle stump and off stump. But the other bowlers have been having those balls that they try to bowl down leg, man.
Bowler almost wanted to go for a peel there, just quickly looking at the umpire, but deciding it's not a wise decision to appeal. Definitely a better ball there, targeting the stumps a bit more. As you said now, with about the wires being a bit naughty, I think it's commentators' curse, because I've actually said that they were quite disciplined, and after that it's been 3 wides, 3 extras. So I'm hoping to reverse this curse for the next few balls.
Yeah, she pulls out of that just feeling that something is not right in that run-up, and rightfully so, pulling out because maybe sometimes if you do continue, that's when you will be clapped or maybe bowling it wide because you just didn't feel right. So yeah, this time Refilwe Manchu bowls it right on the block, but beautifully played by Nzuza. Sorry, the new player there, Madisha, bowling it straight, and there's going to be a bit of a chat between the two batters. Maybe they're just feeling that they're slightly now behind pressure, because that's what dot balls have been doing. I mean, from the very onset, they've been running at 6.8 runs and over. And with a few dot balls, a few wickets, that run rates achieved has now gone down to about 5.6. That big shot there just tells you what that conversation was about, to say maybe let's start it moving. And that shot was sort of premeditated. You could just see that there was going to be a big shot anyway.
Yes, 100%. I think it's a fine line. Obviously, they realize they need to pick up the score a bit. They're playing in front of their home crowd. But as I said, it's also a fun day of cricket, so they want to put up a big score. Yeah. And they realize that as well.
Yeah, this time she plays it in that vacant area mid-wicket, because the mid-wicket is slightly square, but ran across it to just come back. But they just managed to run one, which is, you think that they'll put a bit of pressure on the fielding side and attempt to have a run, a second run. A bit of a chat again between Lawrence and Madisha.
Yes, I think with Simone Lawrence still being at the crease, she's been in from the start. She's seen the different conditions. Young player, but with tons of experience, and unsure exactly what they're telling each other. But I think Simone Lawrence knows that her role is very important down there, and she can't lose a wicket. But also she has the most runs so far, so she needs to keep adding to that.
This time Manchu just bowls it straight, and there's a bit of a swing and a miss from Lawrence. Just you can see. And that they're a bit behind the ball. They're feeling that they're under pressure. That's why those two big shots and one dot ball takes the run rate down as well again. So, and you mentioned it earlier, there's a nice crowd pulling in here, and they want to be entertaining that, because that's what this day is about. Yes, it's cricket, but we're also here about to entertain.
Oh.
Yeah, this one is hit over, and there's a chase from two fielders. But it looks like the ball will win that race, and it's a welcome boundary for the Titans, who've just been feeling a bit under pressure, not getting the runs. So nicely picked up by the batter there, Lawrence, just to get it over the line, and fantastic. And it will, maybe they'll feel a little bit relieved that at least they've picked up a boundary.
No, definitely. I think as you said numerous times, they were searching for that boundary throughout that over, trying to go for big shots almost after every ball, having a little conversation out there in the field. Um, but finally, Simone got that ball away. And as I said, she's going to play an important role. She's been in from the start, and compared to the rest of the batters, she's almost got, yeah, she's got more than half of the runs together. So that makes a big difference, and how important it is for her to keep scoring and not lose a wicket.
Yeah, and from the grandstand end here, they'll continue with Netling to bowl her third over. Oh, there's a bit of a shout there, but I think it's a bit high there in terms of you look at where it hit the batter there. And I think the umpire there, Mr. Klute, was just saying not out and the ball being high.
Yes, it almost seemed like the keeper was more interested in the bowler, and then afterwards, as the bowler saw how interested the keeper was, she turned around. But unfortunately for all of them, the umpire wasn't interested. But Sarah Nettleton, as we said earlier, is going to play an important role, especially with the spin, adding pressure.
Yeah, toss it is up is Netling, and nicely played by Lawrence, not attempting, because what they've been doing was looking to be hitting it hard. Sometimes it's just good to stroke it, and that's what she did there. This time she hits it over, looking to pierce the two fielders, but they managed to just run around it and pick it up is Moncho. So they just managed to pick up one run.
Yes, brilliant use of the feet there to get herself in a position to hit that shot. So, yeah, just great use of technique.
This time Modisha also attempts to pick it up, but does manage to pick it up beautifully and just over Ntozake Raisibe, and a couple of bounces for 4. And the two batters there clash their batters together just to say, well done. It relieves that pressure that they've been feeling.
Yes, I know we were talking about boundaries now, but you mentioned something earlier which stuck with me, is that they've actually not been running that well between the wickets. And something in T20 is that even though you look for the boundaries, that singles and 2 runs are just as important. As we see there, another dot ball from Sarah Nettleton. That previous ball, the boundary was welcomed, but she puts the pressure back on with another dot ball.
Yeah, she'll be bowling her last over, and you can see the message from Tozake. They're just pulling both fielders off to the boundary, and they're just attempting or anticipating a big shot here. And this time, it's just hit straight to the fielder at mid-wicket. Your favorite fielder so far, Sunet Velyun Low, who's the most energetic on the field, even though she's 42 years old. She's a brilliant fielder, brilliant human being, and has just showing the amount of experience that with that beautiful catch. And the score now is 53 for 3 after 9 overs.
Yes, and we also saw there now Sunet Velyun loading some other fielding. Some of the kids on the grass banks hit their ball over, and she quickly made sure they get their ball back. And I think this is lovely for me to see. So I'm originally from the Western Cape, been commentating there a lot, and I've never seen a crowd like this for a women's game. So being down, well, up here in the country, even though they're here for the big game later on, to see so many people pulling through, really warms my heart. So it's lovely.
Yeah, Manchu coming again from the Hanops River, bowling it down leg. There's going to be a chase from Molefe, who dives and does a brilliant job there. At one stage, it looked like she won't get there, but Neo Molefe did a beautiful dive and through. There was an attempt, but they managed to get home safe as the two fielders. First time that you saw a bit of hard running between the wickets with the two fielders.
Yes, Colin, sorry, exactly what I wanted to say now. That was better intention, going for the 2 runs, and really putting some gas to it. Especially if we get now to the second part of the 20 overs, they really need to look at that.
Yeah, Manchu bows it down leg again, but fortunately for her, it clipped the back leg, and it won't be called wide by Mr. Rian Hendricks there. Just also signaling that it was from the leg, but they didn't run. Refilwe again bowling it to Simone Lawrence there, but is that Manak who was attempting to do that run out there, but they just managed a quick one, which is good to see from the batters, just putting the fielders under pressure.
Yes, actually, I think if the fielder managed to keep that ball and didn't fumble it, could have actually been a chance. Great fielding, but also, as you said, exactly what the batters need to do, because that adds pressure and that means missed field opportunities.
And this time she bowls it to Madisha there, but short and wide. She just manages to block it to that fielder, Falyun Low, just making sure that they don't get a run. And at this stage, with 4 balls gone in this over, I'm sure the Lions would love for Manchu to finish this over strong.
Oof.
Oh, a bit of a swing and a miss there from Madisha, and puts her a bit under pressure. That run rate being maintained now at 5.8. Remember, at the start, it was around about 6.87 runs and over. But the Lions have just done well, just for not picking up the wickets. Those dot balls have done nicely to just bring that run rate down. Oh, beautiful pick up there from the legs, but it's straight to the fielder at the boundary, who throws it back into the keeper. And Mr. Rian Hendricks calling end of the over, and it's end of the 10th over, and the score now is 58 for 3 after 10 overs.
Yes, so we're halfway through the 20 overs so far, and as Colin said, they started off nicely with a run rate of about 6.8. It dropped a bit the last few overs. At a stage it was even 5, but the last few overs, Simone Lawrence has gotten a few boundaries to get herself up there. She's still standing strong. She started off this innings for us, and she's definitely playing a key role here. They've also been building quite a nice partnership. The partnership is currently on 19 runs, which makes a big difference because Lawrence didn't get support from her fellow batters earlier on. But as we know, partnerships are key, even in a T20 game that's quite short. And as we said, farewell now to Colin. We're back. I'm back here with Ken. And yes, Ken, we're back for the second half of this first innings. Okay, and we see now a change in the bowling. It is Rapu that is, for the first time today, back in the attack, adding some spin. She's trying to play the ball across, and they're just going to go for a single. Colin, I've spoken about it a bit earlier, Ken, but I feel the running hasn't been great. There's here and there been a single. Here and there, they're going for the second run, but it's actually not been that common. Maybe not that many opportunities. So it was a good single now from the Titans ladies, but definitely need to up the pace a bit.
Even then, there was a bit of hesitation, wasn't there? There was... They weren't exactly on the same page, so that's it nicely to long off for 1.
Yes, and just 1, as you said, but the previous few overs there's been a lot of dots, so I think even in this, the singles are welcomed, as we see Rapu now with the 4th ball, and it's another dot. The batter just quite couldn't get it away.
It's a big area in our ladies' cricket, middle overs against spin. Being over to rotate the strike, that's a little bit too short from Rapu, but her field is well set, just single.
Yes, very tricky, and I think the last few years we've started to build some momentum, especially with the Proteas women, and we see someone like Kayla Reineke now picking up the pace with that. Just quickly have a look here. Well, a lot of power there from Simone Lawrence, but again, it will only be a single. So definitely a better sound off the bat. She tried to get the ball away, but at the end, that is the first over of Rapu that is done. Just 4 runs from it, 4 singles. And yes, 62 for 3 for the first 11 overs as we move now to the 12th over.
Very important stage of the innings. You touched on it, Anae. Not a bad over for the Titans. They've dropped to 5.6 runs per over now, though. at the start of the power play, the first 3 overs, they were going at 8. But the vital thing now is for Lawrence to bat deep. And as you mentioned, a partnership between these two, it's worth 23 now. They just need to kind of reset the platform for a really big go at the end. And important not to lose a wicket, but they also need to keep that scoreboard ticking over as close to run a ball as they can get it.
Definitely. Something I touched on earlier, obviously this is quite a nice crowd and you want to keep them entertained. So you don't want to lose your wicket and you obviously want to win the game, but also you want to show what women's cricket is all about. And definitely with that, they need to up the pace a bit to show what their worth is and the quality they can play. Ooh. Bit of a use of feet there from Simone Lawrence, but the bowler wins that battle. Simone was flawed there. As we see now, Ntsukane is in the... Just have a quick look. Notsake, the captain, she's in for her first over of today. And that is a brilliant, almost want to say brilliant use of the feet, but it led to the wicket. So again, I want to say brilliant use of the feet, but then I want to add it's unfortunately a wicket and some brilliant catching. The Lions have been great on the field today. I don't know if you saw Sunette for Unilo's catch earlier. It was absolutely brilliant. And so far, every wicket that they took has been balled and then catched, and they haven't dropped one or fumbled one. And I think that is exceptional fielding from them.
The fielding has been a highlight, and Simone Lawrence making good contact. As you said, it was good use of the feet, struck it well, but we've seen a bit in her innings that she has a tendency to play across the line a little bit too much, and she picked out Kyle Corner absolutely perfectly there, when in an ideal world would have wanted to go a little bit straighter, and that's a really massive blow for the Fidelity Titans, because she was the set batter, gone for 29, and success for Tozaka in her first over, 62 for 4.
Yes, and as we see now, Chanel Fenter making her way to the crease. She's going to play an important part. Never mind, Simone Lawrence being in there from the start and getting a brilliant 23 runs. We've mentioned 29 runs. It's been a brilliant partnership as well, and they will have to rebuild now from the start. So we see there, oh, what a ball, and it's given. It's given, that's 2 in a row, 2 out of 2. So a very short stay for Chanel Fenter. She has a quick look back at the umpire, her teammates, and the Lions team, but it's given and she has to walk. So, yeah, she tasted a bit of the cricket but didn't get the bite, so she's out.
Well, I guess bemused is the best way to describe it. Most unfortunate first baller for Chanel Fenter. And bigger picture, Coach Pierre de Bruin, including a couple of younger batters in this game, obviously with an eye on next season, in Thelma Makubela and Chanel Fenter, both very talented, and unfortunately, both of them have made ducks.
Yeah, and as you say, it's quite unfortunate that was the first ball, because it's a brilliant, brilliant ball from Rapu. So, my apologies, from the captain. It was a brilliant ball. There wasn't much you can do. So I always feel for the batters a bit in that situation. Just getting in, want to get your eye in, but the bowler doesn't give you a chance at all.
Yep, it can happen. It's always difficult for a batter, especially if your first ball is a beauty.
Exactly.
If the bowler gets it in exactly the right spot and gets a bit of purchase, tough, very hard. But these are two quality spinners bowling now. Oh, and there, Tozaki finds the edge.
A lucky edge there. Not in the position for the keeper to actually catch that, but what that edge produced was definitely some opportunity, and definitely keeps the batter guessing, as we see Christelle van der Schuyf now making her way to the crease. That was her second ball that she faced, and she took the single.
Should there have been a slip in place? That's wide down leg. Slip for the new batter, maybe?
Definitely. I think, as I said, there with the edge, the thing is it adds some pressure to the batter. The questions are being asked by the bowler, and as a batter, You don't like that, as we see a bit of hesitation there from the batter, but they scramble through for the single, and it's a brilliant over there. First over, and only 3 runs from it, but it's not the 3 runs that we are impressed about. It's this 2 wickets that she took. 2 welcomed wickets that took the Titans down to 65 for 5. So brilliant over by her.
Yeah, so Rasibe Tozaki and Khamotso Rapu have been key figures in the DP World Lions' success in T20 cricket. The last couple of years, they really bossed these middle overs and have been amongst the best in the country at doing it. So the Titans somehow have to both see them off and score.
Yes, as we see Rapu now back into the attack, and another dot adds to the pressure. Dots, wickets, we've seen it all. Haven't seen a boundary in quite a while, and that's quite important for T20 cricket. As we see, she gave herself some space there between freeing the bat, freeing the arms, but at the end of the day, the fielding is exactly where it needs to be, and it's another dot. Ooh, just dropped short, and actually almost there, opportunity for a run out. Great fielding there. Just dropped short from the fielder, but more than that, great awareness to realize that they went for the single, but actually quite slow, and a lot of questions being asked at the moment, and I think the Titans out there in the middle are not entirely sure how to answer it, how to pick up the run rate. Christelle van der Schuyf definitely can hit the ball quite far. She's been relatively new to the Titans setup. As we see now what she does. Oh, brilliant batting from it. Was a bit short, and that allowed her to play that brilliant shot, but the fielding has been great so far. As we say, the fielders are exactly in the places that they need to be, so just another single, even though she middled that beautifully. She goes across again, and similar situation as earlier, fielders in place. I think at the end of the day, singles are better than nothing, Ken. What do you say?
Absolutely, and there's a lot of pressure now on Lesedi Madisha. She's now the in batter, and I'm not sure how much experience she's had of these sort of situations. To both take it deep, she's got to try and bat through to the 20th over, but she's also got to try and get that scoring rate revived. It's dropped now to 5.2. And nearly got herself run out, as you say, Nonkululeko Tabete at mid-wicket there. Couldn't get to the catch, but she was so quick in releasing to the bowler's end. Nearly caught the batsman out. Unfortunately, throwing off balance, there wasn't quite the power in the throw. But another good over for the DP World Lions. 68 for 5 and just 7 overs left.
Yes, and I mentioned earlier that I'm actually from the Western Cape, and I've commented quite a lot at Newlands, but I must say it's totally a different vibe here at Supersport Park. So if you're at home and you don't know entirely what to expect, I just love what I see at the moment. So we just have a look back at the cricket, another dot. Yeah, Mandisa, not sure how to play that. She's definitely very settled at the moment, but not getting the shots away to add the pressure that she would like to. Ooh. Swing and a miss, possibly inside edge, and ball is not going to roll for a boundary, but I think unfortunate there from the bowler.
Yeah, she got too much turn, did Tozaki, otherwise that was bold.
I mean, her previous over she picked up 2 wickets, so nothing is impossible with her at the moment. Oh, what turn is she getting? That is incredible. Huge appeal by the bowler as she looks to the umpire, but he isn't interested. And Christelle van der Schuyf just walked away, shook it off, and is back now facing another ball. Oh, brilliant use of the feet and a welcome boundary. It's the first boundary in quite a few overs. So, I think the Titans are a bit relieved.
Christelle van der Schuyf, she's a wonderful hitter. in low order, and that was superbly played. And that's what I was talking about with Simone Lawrence's dismissal. Lawrence went too much across the line, caught at cow corner. Van der Schyff beautifully placed between long on and cow corner.
Quite a good ball, just a bit more straighter from the bowler, which results in a single. We see that the bats are out there in the middle just having a quick chat. That was quite evident in this whole match. The Titan ladies have, between every second ball, they go to each other, have a quick chat. So communication is key. To see, oh, what a good ball. Fielder is in place there. Not much she can do there. And that is the end of the over. And the overs are going quite quickly at the moment. And that is what happens if you're bowling quite a lot of spin in the middle overs. And we see it especially with the women's game. They're just flying through the overs. So we're actually now in the 14 overs gone, moving to the 15th over. And 74 for 5. Currently at a run rate of 5.3. And I can guarantee you, Ken, I don't think that's the score that they would have wanted at 14 overs.
No, especially after such a good start. They were 26 without loss in the 4th over. But Christelle van der Schyff back on strike. And for me, she's an exciting cricketer. Not only a really good hard-hitting finisher, but she bowls decent pace, hit the deck hard bowling as well.
Misses the first fielder there, but nice cover there to ensure that it's still a dot ball. And just as you described, Van der Schyff, as I said, she was actually at the Garden Route Badgers for quite a long time. It's a relatively new signing for the Titans. She's played for them the last 2 years. So we see what she does there. Oh, brilliantly hit, but the fielder's hands got a bit of damage there. Brilliant fielding. It was lovely struck, but yeah, so finish, just see there, just another single, just moving it along nicely down the ground. Yeah, so Van der Schyff, been at the Garden Route Badgers for a few years, got a new signing at the Titans, and she's really added something to this team. Up, ball just popped up very nicely there, not much you could do. Got to the top edge of the bat, and that popped up very nicely for the keeper there, for the fielder, my apologies.
Well, Madisha was nearly caught in the previous over from Rapu by Tabete there at mid-wicket. And clever bowling to aim for that again, and Madisha this time popping it up easily for Tabete to take the catch. Another big blow for the Fidelity Titans. They lose another set batter. Madisha gone for 15, and it's now 75 for 6. And big trouble for the Titans, one feels. But Tiani van den Heervel comes to the crease, and she too can bat a bit.
Yes, Tiani van den Heervel is one of those players that's been around for the Titans for quite a few years. A brilliant bowler. One of those goals you can always count on, as we see her now facing the first ball. Just moving the ball across nicely, but a bit of a fumble from the field. I almost want to say there hasn't been a lot of fumbles, and it's not truly a fumble, it's just a single, so not too much damage done. As we see now, last ball of the over. Van der Schyff wasn't quite sure what to do with that ball. I've realized that she likes to free her arms. In all her shots, she tries to give her some more space, move the feet a bit across, trying to get the ball away. In that instance, the ball was quite onto her. There's not much she could have done, and that's why that ball surprised her. So really good bowling, I think, from the Lions. And you've mentioned that, Ken, they've worked with a plan. They saw earlier with Mandisha that she likes to hit a certain shot, and it almost worked 2 overs ago. They tried it now again, and it worked, and there was a wicket. And I love it when a bowler works with a plan, and then the plan prevails.
So Rasibi Tozake continues, a couple of wickets already, and we welcome back Colin Kowa to commentary. And Colin, it's a beautiful day at Supersport Park. The sun is out and the clouds are dissipating, as that's going to be a quick single to deepen it off. And the grass banks are starting to fill up, and there's a smattering of people in the grandstand as well.
Yeah, no, we mentioned that earlier on, Ken, that it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. And I think you also forgot to mention that looks like the beer halls are also just getting it's getting nice and cold, and the guys are going to enjoy it later on as Ntozabe Raisibe bows now. And this one, it gets hit straight to the fielder there, and nothing run. And this is what they'll be looking for, Lions, especially at this stage with the last 5 overs, some dot balls. This time she just Raisibe pulls it on the leg side, but Cowling does a fantastic job. Not an attempt there from the Titans, which is one thing that has been done poorly this first innings, is the running between wickets. There's no push for that second one, or even an attempt. This time she gets picked up, and it's going to go all the way for 6. That's a beautiful, fantastic shot there by Van der Schyff, picking it up nicely. And that's what you want, Ken. The last few overs, the last 5 overs, they need to capitalize. Yes, they've got 4 wickets in hand. They can have that risk and go for it.
That's a tremendous strike by Christel van der Schyff. Even on the full-size field, that was nearly a 6. One bouncing over the fence. And, wow, she's such a talented young player. It's difficult for her to always get a space in the starting 11 when Elise Marie Marks is available for the Titans, because they're the same sort of player.
Yeah, and you'll see later on she does a bit of bowling as well, which also helps because it sort of creates that opportunity or that chance that maybe you could sneak in that 11, because you bring not just one skill, but you also bring in that second skill, which is the bowling. And it looks like we'll have some change here in terms of bowling from the main grandstand end.
Yeah, Faye Cowling is back to bowl her final over. Is it? No, I don't think it is Faye Cowling. In fact, it's Liani Swanepoel.
Yeah, she gets picked up, Leanne Swanepoel, but pickup was just straight to the fielder, which is Cowling at the boundary there, just to confirm there, Ken, that yes, it is not Cowling bowling.
Yeah, both of them have got. Both of them are tall for starters,
definitely.
with a long blonde hair. Looking at them from the back, as we are situated high up in the West Lane stand.
This time Swanepoel bowls it straight, but it's hit again straight to the fielder, which is Ntozake. There was a bit of an attempt there for a run, but Van der Schyff just saying no to a partner there, and nothing harmful.
Yeah, I think the Titans will want Van der Schyff to have most of the strike now for these remaining 22 deliveries in the innings.
Yeah, this time Van der Schyff looking at the cap. Is there going to be a run out? No, she's home safe. Is the pickup there, I think, from the fielder there, Manak, was slightly a bit slow and then just throwing it in. But safely making it is the better there.
Well, I thought Manak did really well to cut the ball off. Had to dive a bit. It was firmly struck by Van der Schyff.
And the response there from Swanepoel is just to bowl it down leg and just clip the pads. We'll see Mr. Kluti there just signaling that yes, it is a leg bias, and a bit naughty there to not want those ones. Fortunately for her, didn't get called wide because it clipped the leg, so it in any way there's not too much damage.
That ball wobbled a bit. Swanepoel got a bit of swing, which maybe she didn't expect. Started it a bit too straight.
Yeah, and bowling late, you're surprised why? Because yes, you're quite right, Ken. A bit of swing there. And again there, just that swing, but this time gets clipped as well. But this time Mr. Kluti not signaling or touching that leg of his, just to make sure, signals that no, it's not, it's runs, it is from the bat.
Excellent delivery that, as we head into the death overs. Late movement into the right-hander and right up at the feet in the block hole.
Bowls it and gets picked up, and there's going to be a chase from the fielder. And beautiful fielding that by the captain of Lions of the 50 over comp, and does very well to get that back, and they just managed to pick up 2 runs from that.
Fantastic fielding. Absolutely superb. Money on the ball there, but wonderful chase by Komotso Rapu.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Good to see that kind of commitment from Rapu, doing a fantastic job there. And it ends the over, the 17th over, and the score is 91 for 6.
Not just the chase, but the skill in the dive, and in getting the ball back, judging the boundary rope to perfection as well. And the Lions have fielded extremely well today.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that catch we saw earlier on from Fairlion Low, beautiful dive to a right-hand side. Had to chase it first. The dive and the landing and the ball not popping up was just fantastic. And Nethling now bowling from the Hanops River end, and bowling to Van der Schyff, and immediately opening this over with a dot ball. Looking to pick it up again, the Van der Schyff, but this time hits it safely on the ground to that fielder who's at the boundary, Raisiban Tozake, who's been captaining the team outside of the ring. She's been spending most of her time at the boundary.
A little bit unusual for a captain, as for the new batter, quite rightly, long off comes up into the circle.
This time around, even the scream there for the appeal for the LB, not that confident. Nethling, I think, just also picking it up that there was no way that was going to be given an LBW. Bit of a move from the batter there. There's going to be a chase from the fielder. Can we see a 2 runs there from Titans? Yes, it is a call by Van der Schyff saying come through, and they picked up 2 runs, saved 2 runs. And so far this over is not bad from Nethling, was bowling her last over, the 4th over.
Well, Van den Heerf moved a bit too early, and Nettleton adapted well, fired it in full and a bit wider of off. Lucky not to play it onto his stumps.
Oh, this one going down leg, but there's going to be a chase by Neo Molefe, and it just manages to stop that one. Didn't it hit the cap there, Ken? What's the rule? You hit the cap, there's 5 runs there, so the Empires didn't look interested there, but yeah, bit suspect there.
Must have been close.
And it's hit straight past the fielder. They would try to do a bit of a Beckham and stop it with their legs, but it went through there, and I'm sure Nonkululeko Tabete knows that she's not a soccer skill, but beautiful shot to end that over, and it puts now the Titans a score on 99 for 6 after 18 overs. 2 overs to go. 120, Ken?
Yeah, well, that gives them something to bowl at, I guess. But, Van der Schyff just had too much heat on that delivery for Tabete, who has fielded well today. But that was just too well struck by Van der Schyff. So, yeah, I agree the Titans probably need at least 20 from these last 2 overs to be competitive.
Yeah, and I think from Tabete, they're fortunate that it didn't hit a foot, that ball, because it was hard, it was hit hard, and it had managed to hit her legs there. It could be talking something else. This time gets picked up, but Cowling just runs across it, picks it up, and they just managed to get 1 run from that. And I'm sure Titans will appreciate having Van der Schyff on the strike, and that's the 100 up for Titans. It comes at 18.1 overs. And it comes with Van der Schyff now looking like she's becoming dangerous. She's currently sitting on 22 runs.
Yeah, she definitely needs to face the majority of the remaining couple of overs to be bowled. And we know that if she gets it right, she can certainly collect some boundaries.
This time she attempts to pick it up. Doza Karasibe underneath, but it's going to just bounce short and they're just going to pick up 1 run. I'm sure that's the 1 run they'll be happy with. 1, it gets Van der Schyff off the strike, and 2, it did not go all the way, that one, to go over and Tozak to go for a boundary.
Yeah, Lions will definitely be happy to have Van der Schyff off strike. Would have been happier to see her out, of course.
Oh, it's just clipped, I think, the back foot, but yes, Mr. Kluti, they're just signaling that it clipped the foot. There is a chase there, and they're going to put a foot on to stop. We're not quite sure if, I think the Square Leg Empire, Mr. Hendricks, just asking, what's that? And they're just signaling, no, it's not a boundary. So they've just managed to run the 2 runs there. But, yeah, nice swing in this Falloon. Swanepoel. Quite surprisingly that she didn't bowl even earlier, because I'm just impressed with the way she swings it, especially in the air, Ken. Again, there she swings it, but this time it's hit hard, and there's a dive there from Rapu, who had done a beautiful fielding earlier on, but this time the ball just went all the way and hitting the boundary. So it's exactly what they would want to have Van der Schyff on the strike, because she hits it nicely clean and hits it hard.
Very clean. Yeah, Liani's trying to pull a bit of a death specialist for the Lions. Tries to get it up in the block hole more often than not. Just slightly missed her length there, and Van der Schyff punished her.
Yeah, this time just a nice pickup, nice easy pickup, but there's a bit of an attempt from Rapu again. That dive, and again, same results, a boundary. Welcome boundary. This is a good over so far. This is for the Titans.
Well, we've spoken about how well the DP World Lions have fielded today so far, but now in these crucial couple of death overs, they just need to make sure they're on point.
Yeah.
They need to stay sharp, because you don't want to be allowing a whole flurry of boundaries at the back end here, which could give the Titans the momentum going into the break.
Yeah, definitely, and as we know, cricket is a game of momentum. This time, Swanepoel responds with a beautiful ball, just short of a length, and gets defended by Van der Schyff. But it ends at the 19th over, and the score is 112 for 6. That 120, very much possible now. Just 1 over to go.
Well, Van den Heerfer will be on strike. She's on 10. But I dare say the best thing she can do is to get the 1, or, well, even better, a 3, but it's not the biggest boundary to be able to run a 3. But get Van der Schyff on strike for the last 5 balls.
And it looks like there'll also be a bowling change from the other side. Is that Rapu coming to bowl the last over? Yes, it is Rapu who's going to be bowling that last over, taking over from at Hanop's River end, taking over from... In fact, yes, no, she bowled the other one.
Sarah Nettleton
Yes.
bowled her last over from that end. So back-to-back overs of spin. The 18th and 20th overs, braved by the DP World Lions, but spin has always worked for them in T20 cricket.
Yeah, the captain.
3 overs, 1 for 9. She's been superb today.
And the captain being the spinner, there's no doubt why she's backing the spinners. And this one is bowled straight and gets hit straight back to the fielder. But there was also there looking to see if, of course, Van der Schyff was already beginning to run the 1, but safely just made it home. Oh, this one just hitting, spinning towards the leg side, but spinning out to the fielder, who was now looking, the batter was now looking to hit it to that mid-wicket region, but just managing to just pick up 1, which is what they'll want, the Lions, in this over. And this one is hit again to that vacant gap. There's an attempt for the second run, and they are going to take it, and the misfield, that's what the pressure of running hard between the wickets does. It puts pressure on the fielding side, and exactly they ended up making it comfortably.
Exactly right, Colin. At least look for the second.
Yeah.
At least make the fielding side aware that you're thinking of 2. And as you say, it immediately puts the fielder under pressure. as Arapu is moving her leg side boundary fielders around. Now we're going to have 3 fielders on the leg side boundary, long on, cow corner, and a deep mid wicket. And then she bowls a wide outside off.
Yeah, responds with the wide, which is not what Nkosazana Raisibe will be looking for, because not at this stage. You don't want to be just giving away easy runs. This time she bowls it straight, and thought that at some stage at once, second, I thought it hit the wicket, but I think
it must have just turned away from the subs. It was a straight ball. Yeah. And again, Lion's getting too much turn.
This time she picks it up, hits it straight to Ntozake, but it goes over her, goes for a boundary, and that's a welcome boundary, welcome 6 runs for the Titans, the Fidelity Titans.
A wonderful strike again by Van der Schyff, takes her to 39 now, 122 for 6 with the ball left. If she can get another 6 now, then suddenly the target will be 129. It's almost 130. It's a bit of a psychological shift as well.
Yeah, and that momentum that we spoke about as well earlier, as Rapu bowls, picks it up, clean this time, hits it for a boundary, couple of bounces, beautiful shot to end this Titans innings, and it takes that score, takes the Titans, Fidelity Titans, to 126 for 6 after 20 overs, and the Lions will have to come back, the DP World Lions will have to come back to combat, to chase 127, the target to win.
Well, Christelle Van der Schyff, hats off to her. What an innings. 43 not out. And she has really dragged this Fidelity Titans innings from 75 for 6. And it's been a vital partnership. Credit to Tiani van den Heervel as well for playing the ideal supporting role. But Christelle Van der Schyff, with her 43 not out, has given the Titans something to defend.
Yeah, something to defend, definitely. And they're carrying that momentum when they come back to field. But beautiful cricket, beautiful day here at the Supersport Park, which is celebrating their 40 years. And there's a Legends game also coming on later on. And it's looking so far to be a fantastic day out here. If you are somewhere close by to Centurion Supersport Park, pull in, come through. We've just seen even the beer halls. You could see that it's getting cold today, and you'll have yourself a fantastic day. We'll see you later when we do come back. Thank you.
Afternoon at 2 p.m. Your Titans Legends taking on the
Yeah, welcome back to the Supersport Park, where we are celebrating 40 years of Centurion Supersport Park, and then obviously the Legends game that will be happening later on. But currently, this game between the Fidelity Titans ladies versus the DP World Lions, who now the Lions will be chasing that 127 run target to win that was set by Fidelity Titans. And with me is the lady by Anna Avenga. Welcome back again. And looking forward to this chase now.
Yes, Colin, we just spoke off air about it. But what is your thoughts? Do you think this is a chaseable score? Do you think it's a defendable score? Obviously, a lot of elements to take into consideration, but what is your take on this?
Yeah, I mean, and looking just at the lineup of both the teams, you can see that Lions has gone with a bit more of experience compared to the Titans team, which is, I also feel they're just looking at rebuilding and looking at what's coming for this following season. So just based on that, I think Lions have got a team to chase this 127 score, even though it's quite a good score to chase. You know, it's not a very low score. It's challenging. It needs a 6 runs or so and over to chase. So you're gonna need to you're gonna need to work for it.
Dot ball first up. Um, as we see the bowler just trying to get a line and length correct, but quite a good ball to start off with. I think we've spoken about it quite a lot, but a dot ball is welcomed in T20. Obviously, it's the first ball. The batter's also just trying to see the conditions, how the pitch plays out. But the first ball of this innings.
Yeah, Jane Visage bowling from the main grandstand end.
And that would be a wide. As I said, just couldn't quite get her line and length correctly there. I think it was a good length, but line isn't correctly there, and that leads to a wide. We saw with the DP World Lions in the beginning, they actually bowled quite consistently and good, and later on the extras crept in. Let's hope this is not the case for the Fidelity Titans.
Oh, a bit of a shout there, but in fact, Visage gave it away because out of everyone, she didn't go for that scream. I think because she's got a better line, she's got pretty much the same line that the Empire's got and could see, and which is also the same line we've also got here, and that it was going down leg, that one.
Yeah, so just a half an appeal, as you said, from the rest of the fielders, but as we see her coming in again for her third ball. Oh, what a brilliant ball. Absolutely beautiful at exactly the spot where she wanted it. And it's almost, there was a bit of an extra pace, and the batter didn't expect that, which led to her having quickly to react to the shot, which led to the wickets. And what a welcomed wicket in the third ball for Jane Visage. As we hear now on the ground, it's 1 for 1, and I think that is lovely for the Fertility Titans. That is something they would love to hear on the loudspeakers, and it's just been said. So first wicket has fallen.
Yeah, and good wicket, I must say. The one that they've got is not from the bat, is the one from the wide. And just Neo Molefe again. I've seen her now a couple of times. She gets out very soft. You know how she gets out is actually for this level, a Division 1 professional team. It's very wrong. She should be making her wicket a very tough one to get, especially as an opening bat. But I know that once she gets going, she does hit the ball very nicely. But as you said, Lions are 1 for 1, and the momentum is still now with the Titans.
The ball was quite straight there by Jane. And as we see now, the batters just quickly went through for the single. It will be interesting to see their approach. I think it was something you mentioned earlier with the Fidelity Titans, is that they didn't always take the singles as they should have. So it will be interesting to see the approach of the Lions here, if they'll play with a positive intent, or will they be a bit on the back foot after that first wicket falling so quickly?
Yeah, no, 100%. That running between wicket is going to be key in this chase. At least the intent is there, and you can see the intent that they are looking for one if it's possible. But yeah, they must not depend on the boundaries only, which is what I've sensed at some stage with the Titans innings, that they were just now waiting for the boundary, not looking to run those ones and twos. But that's where the Lions, the lesson that should have been learned.
Oh, and that's a loose delivery, and it goes all the way. It was a full toss. And it got punished as it should. Absolutely full toss there from the bowler, not a great ball at all. And the batter decided, okay, if you give me that ball, I'll punish it. And it's an absolute maximum, and it's the first boundary of this inning so far. And what a welcome boundary! Not only 4, but definitely a 6 to start off this proceedings.
Yeah, the first 6 for the Lions today, from Kamogetsu Chwane, who was the wicket keeper earlier on. She's not the biggest lady there on the field, but she hit that beautifully and did not actually look like she was hitting it hard. She just stroked it beautifully and it did got the maximum. And I think it will be a good welcome boundary to end that first over with 8 runs for 1 wicket down.
Yes, because early on in that first over, the momentum was a bit in the Fidelity Titans' hands, especially with that early wicket. But what a way to put them on their back foot again with that 6. Last ball of the over, loose delivery, and you punish it.
Yeah, well, now Titans knows that they mustn't bowl it short to Chwane. They've now seen what she's capable of. And the bowler that pulls out of that run-up, that first one.
Yes, so we see now Angel Makmunya back for the first time into attack. She's going to open the proceedings from the other end. Ooh, and the ball just tickles through to the keeper.
Yeah, Angela Mgwenya has been a consistent member of this Titans team this season. I've watched a few of her games where she's come through, been a good bowler for Titans, and has done well. Mashishi later on, who we will see, Paulina, has also been at one stage, they will be bowling in tandem. These are the senior team players in this team.
Looked a bit wide-ish. The batter had to reach for it, but it was still within the line, so the umpire wasn't too interested in raising their hands. But yeah, the batter, it was a swing and miss, and she just couldn't quite get to it. Very nicely played, just opening the bat, but the field is set, and unfortunately a dot ball, but I do think it was very nicely just opening the bat a bit to get that ball away.
Yeah, that fielder there, Mashishi, is just a bit of a, you're not quite sure if a gully, but 45 kind of a gully, not really there to catch, but just there to stop those kinds of shots.
And
Nicely clipped that by Ramla Khan, clipping it nicely, but just confidence booster, because she middled it, it hit the bat beautifully. It would just, as I say, give her a bit of confidence.
100%, but that has also been the 4th dot ball in a row. Definitely adds to some pressure. And another swing and miss. The bowler very unfortunate there not to get an edge. I think there's 2 balls that was quite close to the edge. So, as you said, Ramlakang with quite a bit of luck so far on her side with this over. So 5 balls bowled and 5 dots so far. Let's see what happens with this last ball. I think it's going to be quite interesting. Who's going to win the battle?
Oh.
And it's given. She's walking.
Yeah, beautiful ball. That beautiful ball that from Mgwenya. As I mentioned earlier on, a bit of experience has been carrying or being part of the recognized bowlers for Titans this past season. Has been consistently doing that role. And here you mentioned and 5 dot balls. That immediately put the pressure. And that one, the last ball, saved the best for last. Swung it in beautifully. And Ramla Khan was caught in the crease. No movement whatsoever. And called there for LBW. And immediately puts this Lions ladies under pressure now. Ending that second over with now 8 runs on the board with 2 wickets down.
Oh, maiden wicket over. Brilliant. And I think that's what I said just before that last ball. I think there was a sense of this last ball, something is going to give. So either the batter, Ramlakan, was going to go for a big shot, which could have gone for a boundary, or it would have led to a wicket. And it was a beautiful ball by the bowler, and that did lead to the wicket. So yeah, maiden wicket over, and we see the third over play now. It's quite a good ball.
Yeah, good ball, shaping it nicely. It also brings to the crease that wicket, Nonkululeko Tabete. Experienced better for this DP World Lions. Has been around since the inception. Has only played for Lions, never played for anyone else. And coming through now, there's gonna be a lot required from her now to just bring back some pride in this Lions team.
And the fielders underneath it is taken. I do think that was a commentator's curse wicket. Just as Colin next to me said that she's been one of the players that's been in the DP World Lions side for quite some time. From the start, this is her career. She's going to play an important role now, and that ball was just lofted in the air. Just didn't quite get everything that she wanted underneath that, and that ball went up in the air, and the fielder didn't look troubled at all. I must say, I've been quite impressed with the fielding from both teams so far. It's obviously quite early for the fielding of the Titans ladies, but really not a lot of fielding fumbles. There hasn't been a drop catch. Maybe 1 or 2 opportunities where a bit of more effort could have gone in, but actually it's been a pretty solid display of fielding, of catching, and that is lovely to see. There's a reason why catches win matches, and so far we've been witnessing it.
Yeah, no, definitely. You're quite right. That's an old saying, and it will remain as is because as much as we still got cricket being played, catches will always win you matches. And it brings, again, another experienced player in terms of Felyun Low, who joins Nkululeko Tabete. So the Lions have got 2 experienced batters now, and they will require a lot from these 2 because they will in deep trouble now with 3 wickets down and just 2.2 overs gone. So if there's anyone to take them out of this troubled area, it's these 2 batters.
And as you said, we're currently in the third over, already 3 wickets down, but more than that, this has been 3 dots so far, obviously with a wicket as well. But the over before that was also 6 dots, 5 dots, 1 wicket. So currently it's been 8 balls in a row that has been dots or either a wicket.
There's another dot ball for you, and those immediately put the pressure on top of the fact that there are 3 wickets down in this third over. They've got double pressure, and they would also know that they are way behind with the runs. Currently, they've just managed to not even get close to that run rate that is required.
And just misses there from Jane Versage. Another good ball from her. Definitely asking the questions for the batters. And I do think, as I know, Sunette for Yunlo, she loves to hit. No matter the situation, she's a big hitter. So she will have to absorb this pressure, but also get the ball on the roll.
Yeah, no, definitely. She's going to quite need to absorb it, but not absorb it for long because they're going to need the runs. They're currently at 2.7 runs achieved. They need 7 runs and over to be on par with the score required. And that ends the third over. And the score now is 8 runs for 3 wickets
So if
down.
you head on over to the bars, we're having a happy hour which ends at 2 p.m. So hurry up. You can get 2 beers or silence for 75 rand. We also have a special 20 rand off all mixers and spirits.
I'm sure the crowd will enjoy that announcement there, and
Yes.
it looks like this crowd is in for a very, very good day today. Good entertainment day. If you're out here, you're not. If you're not out here, in fact, you'll be missing out. If you're close by, please pull in at Supersport Park.
And as seen the last few balls, it's another dot ball. Angel Mokoena is back into the attack. She's had a good first over so far, maiden, as we said, and a wicket. And she starts this second over from her with another dot ball. And yes, if you're not here, please pull through. They just announced that there's a special run-in at the bar. And that is another dot ball, a bit wider. It's almost as if the batter had an extra stare at the umpire just to make sure he isn't maybe going to pull up his hands and arms for a wide, but the umpire is not interested. And that means that is another dot ball.
Yeah, 8 dot balls from Gwenya, one of them being a wicket-taking one. So she's been good so far.
And another dot ball.
Yeah, no, you would swear that dot balls are up for sale, yeah?
No,
Especially
definitely.
from Mgwenya's end, that one being her 9th one. So definitely putting up that pressure. And it's amazing what dot balls do to the run rate, because as she keeps on bowling dot balls, that run rate keeps on going up in terms of run rate required.
Great fielding there. It was not badly played, a bit of extra pace from the bowler, which added to a bit more pace from the batter. So there had to be quick reactions from the fielder there. And it was some quick reactions, and she stopped the ball. So great fielding there by the Fidelity Titans. Even though they're in a good position, you can clearly still see that the intent is there to produce some brilliant fielding as well and keep the pressure there.
I think, and let me help you there. I think you're getting tired with saying dot ball, because
Yes, I
that's
think
what
we
you've been
should.
seeing. Mgwenya has been bowling fantastically, and as she did last over, she had bowled 5 dot balls in a row, and the 6th ball was a wicket. Is it going to be the same in this over again? Because she's
Yes.
already bowled 5 dot balls.
We had a sense that something had to happen on the last ball, and let's see if this is different.
That was very close. But another beautiful bowled over by Angela Mgwenya to finish her second over. No runs so far from her over, and 1 wicket from her. The score is 8 runs, 3 wickets down after 4 overs.
And as the two batters are out there now in the middle having a chat, obviously they will have a chat. Something has to go, something has to give. But I do think something that's not been very positive for me about the DP World Alliance women is that if you're out there in the middle, you have to adapt to the conditions. And I think it was humorous when you said that I'm getting tired of saying dot ball. But I mean, as a batter, you have to take responsibility. And that is very unfortunate. We will see an extra run being added to that total, but it is because of an extra, because of a wide. So it is the third over of Jane Visage, and the first ball of her is a wide. So for once, I don't have to say dot. The batters didn't have any contribution to that, but it's fine for now.
That shot there tells you a lot, and just that shot because of the amount of dot balls and the last time they got runs from the bat, and that shot there from Low just tells you that they feel a little bit under pressure. They do feel that they need to contribute. They do need to make runs or get runs, and the only way is to have a swing.
Ooh, another full toss there from a very foolish ball. Can be quite glad that it went for dot. The previous time that she bowled a full toss, it was hit for a maximum for 6, and that was in the first over. So quite lucky to get away with that one, that it wasn't punished this time, but it was a bit of an awkward ball to get away.
Yeah, the Lions are being squeezed here. The Lions are being squeezed for not to get runs whatsoever. They've also just gone slightly into a shell, which is unlike a lion. Normally in the bush, in the wild, a lion in these situations will come out fighting. And that's what they'll need from these two, Nkululeko Tabete and the experienced Bera, the Sunet Low, that they need to get some runs. Otherwise, that's the only chance they've got in this game.
And that's a swing and a miss. We've been saying that, Colin. Obviously, at this stage of the game, it's almost as if they have to go for the swing, either if it results in a single or a boundary. But at this stage, this is what they have to do. But obviously, a bit unfortunate there because it's a swing and a miss. And at this stage, the Fidelity Titans are winning the battle.
Yeah, definitely. The momentum is definitely with the Titans at this stage.
Another great fielding effort there, which obviously doesn't help the DP World Lions at the moment. I think if you're in a situation like this, sometimes luck needs to be on your side. And that's when you hope that there's been a bit of a misfield here or there or a drop catch, but it hasn't been the case.
Yeah, I mean, even a good shot like that from Nonkululeko Tabete couldn't pierce the gap. They couldn't get runs. And that's how much they are being squeezed here currently, the Lions.
Not much they can do there as the last ball also goes for a dot. So Jane Versage ending her 3 overs with 10 runs and 2 wickets. Brilliant bowling so far by her. And the DP World Lions women don't have an answer at the moment. And I do think with 2 experienced players out in the middle, especially with Sunet Low, someone has to take responsibility for what's going on. And as I said, I know she absolutely loves to power it. So will she play a responsible knock and get herself in, or is she going to go for the big shots? I think she's been facing quite enough balls already to make sure the eye is in to assess the conditions. So I think this can be quite an important over for her.
Yeah, this 10 overs, 10 runs, 5 overs gone, with 3 wickets down at this stage. I mean, the Titans were 2 wickets down in 32 runs. So it just shows you where it is. But I'll just leave you here in the capable hands of Mr. Ken Bola to join you.
Thank you, Colin. Hello, Anae. TP World Lions backs against the wall as Mgwenya continues. And it's a good drive and a good run too.
Yes, Colin, I've joked a bit about we got at a stage tired to say dot ball, dot ball, dot ball. So maybe now with a change of commentary, you will have the opportunity to say a bit more than that.
Oh, you've got to be enjoying how the Titans have come out with the ball and in the field as well. Mgwenya hits the deck hard, and it's a bit of a smear across the line by Tabete, but she will get a run and get off the mark. Just we spoke about at the end of the Titans innings the importance of there was a momentum shift with Van der Schyff hitting a few boundaries at the end there, and the Titans have just run with that momentum with the ball. 3 early wickets. Oh, I think that would have been a very dodgy 13 overs.
Again, something that's been really interesting to me is I've commented at quite a lot of DP World Lions games, And I feel like even if they're in a bad situation, Netful Yun Lo just goes berserk and shows an absolute power, and that's why she's such a leading and top run scorer. So I'm actually very surprised with her approach. Obviously, it was a very difficult situation that she came in, and as we said earlier, the credit is due to the Fidelity Titans. They've been absolutely brilliant. So I don't think they've given her much to put away. But just for me, even in difficult situations, every time I've watched one of her games or commentated, she's absolutely just showed her power and played a natural game of hitting big shots. But yeah, at the moment she's just 4 runs and she's been in quiet for some time. So yeah, very interesting for me to see, just observation.
More spin. This is the young leg spinner, Gabriela Sequeira. 2 off the first ball. Yeah, Netful Yun Lo obviously coming in an absolute crisis situation, 8 for 3. And I guess there is a danger that you come in and you're just thinking about survival. And maybe you get stuck in a rut a little bit. Perhaps should have been on the front foot, maybe trying to drive that one. And you kind of lose your positivity. You want to try and stay positive. Obviously not do anything rash, but should be focused on run a ball. And I'm sure the Lions will be confident that Fidelity Yun Lo backs herself soon. And she'll start picking up that run rate, because the rate required is now 8.6. It's nicely flighted by Sequeira, and again a dot ball.
I wonder if there isn't something psychological to this as well. The Lions had a great season in the Pro 50 and with the 20 overs, but they just quickly see what this ball does.
Nicely clipped by Fidelity Yun Lo. They'll easily get 2.
Comfortable run in there, and just as I was saying, Ken, the Lions had a brilliant season in both formats, but they had absolutely disastrous finals against the Western Province ladies in Durban. Both of them just couldn't quite live up to the standards of the bat, and this is one of their first games back after that.
Nicely pulled by
Brilliant
Fidelity Yun
shot.
Lo, and a much needed boundary. It's a very good point, I know. Dead right. There will definitely be some scarring from that final, and this is their first match since then. And also I think that, their batting struggled the whole season as well. And it just brings back those old feelings again when you lose 3 early wickets.
Definitely true.
8 overs gone, 26 for 3, but 2 very timely blows towards the end of that over. There were 8 off the over, which is almost up with the required rate. Masishi with a long off in place, and then a ring of 3 fielders in front of square on the leg side, deep square leg, cow corner and long on, and this will go to the deep square leg for 1. Takes Tabete to 6 not out. It's a good pull by Fidelity Yun Lo.
Oh, what a shot.
Yeah, enough on it to beat the dive and go for 4. Well, Fidelity Yun Lo is certainly starting to find her timing and placement.
Yes, that was a brilliant shot. The fielder actually wasn't too far off from cutting that off from the boundary rope, but it's been hit with such power and precision. Not much could have been done there.
And now nicely just dinked into the mid-wicket area for the single.
Looks a bit more positive from the DP World Lions women, and I feel that was a single they previously wouldn't have taken because they were a bit scared on the back foot, but some positive intent in pulling through and going for that single.
You speak about on the back foot and Diara Ramlakan's dismissal. a case in point, bowled by Mgwenya for 1. And when you first look at it, you think, oh, maybe that's kept a bit low. But she definitely should have been forward to that delivery on the front foot. She went back and lost her off stump. But it just speaks to how kind of tentative this Lions batting has become after a really hard season for the top order. Just unable to get on that front foot both figuratively and literally and try and dominate the bowlers. 9th over gone, 33 for 3.
Yes, and we're just 2 hours or less than 2 hours away from the big match that's later this afternoon, and even more people are coming into the grounds enjoying this women's game. I absolutely admire what the Fidelity Titans ladies team has done, and the whole Titans team has done for them. I love that you can drive into the Sinai Lease Gate. Everywhere on the stadium, the men and the women are celebrated. It's not a lot of stadiums like that in South Africa, and absolutely love it.
Yeah, Titans Cricket Union generally at the forefront of innovation, along with the DP World Lions, actually.
Yeah, I feel this is the two teams that I absolutely admire for what they do.
And Tabete was quickly onto that one, a little bit short from Sequeira. Chipped up, just short of extra cover. Very good effort. Is that Katie Pryor there?
Yes, brilliant effort from her. Just one bounce before her arms were stuck out.
So Sequeira has bowled 4 pretty good deliveries. We saw her concede a boundary off the last ball of her previous over. Just needs to make sure she finishes this over well. Oh dear. Just tried to do something different, tried to go for a quicker ball there. And why? The over's going well. Just stick to the basics, and she does concede a boundary.
Yes, and Sunette for Yunlo racing now to 21. She's been in quite for some time. A lot of overs faced, where balls faced, overs faced, where there was dots. But she's really going along now very nicely.
And she's got a lot of time still to bat. Oh, confusion in the running. Bowler's end. Oh, just Verhagen just took a little while to sum up which end to throw it there, I think. And half chance missed by the Titans. 10 overs gone, 38 for 3. And as we say goodbye to Ane Havenga, it's welcome back to Colin Koa. So halfway stage of this match, and the DP World Lions need 89 to win off the last 60 balls. So done well the last couple of overs to make sure that the required rate doesn't go above 9, Colin.
Yeah, and if we look back, I mean, at this stage, the Titans were 58 runs for 3 wickets down after 10 overs. So way behind is Lions currently.
A little bit short from Masishi, but Tabete can't connect with the sweep. She will get a leg by though.
Yeah, Mashishi, I was speaking earlier on with Anne when we were up here together that Mashishi is one of those bowlers, like Mgwenya, who's been part and parcel of this Titans teams this season.
Yeah, Mgwenya in particular, a great signing for this last season. Won a bunch of awards at the Titans Awards recently. She can bat a bit as well, a very handy cricketer, as that's 1 too long on. Nicely struck by Philunlo.
Yeah, strongfully hit by Felinho. Even we're saying that they're still way behind. I mean, 9.2 runs required. They're still around that region of 3.8.
Masishi's strength is that she really just does the basics very well. Generally bowls nice and straight. Not much pace to work with for the batters.
Yeah, makes it very difficult, and that's her. I think that's her strength, and that's her role in this team, and that's what she's been doing. Because you find most of the games, if she doesn't pick up wickets, she doesn't get taken away for runs.
Filionlo Tabete rather manages to again rock onto the back foot and work it away for a single. Good tidy over though. Comes to an end. 41 for 3 after 11, and before you know it, Mashishi has bowled 3 overs for just 10 runs.
Yeah, that is her strength. She doesn't pick up wickets, and that's just what she's been doing throughout the season for the Titans. And she's one that mostly, if she does get wickets, because of her slow pace, the batters tend to back themselves in hitting her, and that's when she gets wickets. But I think they've seen over this past season, and she's now just earned a little bit of respect from the batters around.
Well, we're going to have a change of bowling at the Henops River end. Sequeira, 2 overs for 13. Bowled decently, but there was just that one bad ball and over when she just tried something different, and it was hit to the boundary. It's going to be Luyanda Nzuza who's going to bowl some spin.
And Zuza came in earlier on with a bat, could hit it a bit, but maybe this is also another part of her in this team that she can also bowl spin.
Yeah, she's a very useful cricketer as well. That one's heaved away to cow corner. Just the previous delivery, I wonder if there wasn't a single on there. Just that bit of urgency, you know, the straight mid-wicket had to run halfway to the square leg umpire, and there wasn't even a thought of a single. That will be an easy one. And I know Coach Sandile Masangeme in the post-mortem of the Lions season identified the running between the wickets, not just because they had so many run-outs, but also because he felt there were a lot of singles that were left out there, something they need to work on.
Yeah, and it's something, Ken, that most batters tend to relax and depend on the boundary hitting shot and forget in between that even that front foot or that easy defense, I mean, with the gap and the amount of fielders in the ring, there's easy ones there.
Oh, put down by Pryor at extra cover, come wide mid-off. She might have hurt her hand as well. It would have been a spectacular catch. But, yeah, preach, Colin, what you've just said. You know, having covered a lot of the domestic women's cricket the last couple of seasons, it really is an area of the game that across them to be an improvement. The ones, getting the ones in between the boundary hits.
Yeah, it's a stage that needs to be improved. And we saw earlier on, when they did put pressure on the fielding team, Titans, there was a bit of a fumble when they ran that first one hard. And when they came for the second one, that put the fielder under pressure and that put a fumble. So it's exactly what coaches need to be looking at, especially with women's cricket, which you find it lacks a lot, those running in between wickets and those turning those ones into twos and those twos into threes.
So Katie Pryor, the Titans captain, continues to get some treatment to her hands. I think a bit of magic spray being applied. It would have been a stinging blow because it was well struck by Filionlo. Oh, what a blow that would have been to the Lions if Filionlo had gone out. She survives on 23 though.
Yeah, Ken, I couldn't wait just during the break that I had now and change of comment. I just couldn't wait. I think that young boy in me just said, Colin, go out. And I went behind the nets there just to go see some lovely names, those legends that will be playing later on there. It was just beautiful to see. You could see me there. You would think I'm 10 years old again.
That's fantastic, Colin. Well done. So the guys are warming up. I hope they don't warm up either. They've still got to play a game.
the way just having a look at them, they mean business. They're not here to just here to play. And yes, it is that kind of a day where if you're out here somewhere next to Centurion, please come out and come see these legends and come have some fun.
Yes, indeed. And Zuza, and I think Fidelity has got a little scratch on that, or at least Tabete. She'll get a couple more runs.
Yeah, ends that over with over number 12, 47 for 3, and 10 runs now required per over. And I'm sure with that little break, an instruction would have come to these two, and we are going to now see the instruction. We will see it in the way they play, that what is the plan, because with 7 wickets in hand, surely there's no time to hang around now.
You're quite right, Colin. Yeah, and a big hitter in Faye Cowling to come in. But then we see the bowlers, and it's an issue, I think, with the Lions batting the whole season, that although the likes of Tozaki, Rapu, Nettleton, they're useful with the bat. I mean, you'd almost call them bowling all-rounders. But I just think if they could get another batting all-rounder into the lineup, it would just strengthen things a bit. They've just struggled a bit with the balance in their side.
That's the word I was looking for, Ken. It balances the side. It helps a great deal.
Christel van der Schyff into the attack. And straight away hits the deck hard, but misdirected down leg and very well put away for 4 by Fidelity.
Yeah, beautifully hit short dead by Felion Low, and good welcome boundary, especially early on in the over, Ken. 10 runs required and over. You hit a boundary in the first ball. Immediately with the other 5 balls, even if you just get singles, you're still on track in terms of the runs required in that over.
Absolutely not the start Christel van der Schyff would have wanted. Better. Van der Schyff, of course, mostly responsible for the Titans posting what now looks like a very good score indeed of 126 for 6 with her 43 not out of just 27 balls, adding 51 unbeaten runs for the 7th wicket with Tiani van den Heerful. Slashed away over the covers by Fidelity, who is running hard and will come back for 2, backing herself against the throw, and that was good cricket.
Yeah, good cricket around. Good cricket in terms also of what we've been talking about earlier on, that running between wicket. But you mentioned the Van der Schyff runs that she's hit. You forgot to mention, Ken, that majority of them were hard hit to hit them to the boundary, and she made sure of this total the Titans have got.
Down the wicket, and speaking of hard hit, that was ferociously struck by Fidelity, and a good bit of fielding by Luanda and Zuza at mid-off. Keeps it to 1. Yeah, Van der Schyff, it was some of the cleanest hitting you could hope to see in ladies cricket. Fantastic knock by her.
Yeah, serious knock by her. I mean, Annika Boch is somebody who's known for hitting them hard for this Titans team, and I thought when they saw Van der Schyff going, maybe they didn't miss Boch for the day today.
Yeah, the Proteas star who played herself back into the Proteas team via her domestic form. That's lofted, long on in business. Verhagen takes the catch. And Nonkululeko Tabete departs for 13.
Yeah, comfortably taken catch that she eased herself and placed herself nice. They didn't rush in to go catch that ball. She just comfortably waited for it at the boundary and took a fantastic catch. Well taken.
And that brings to the crease now 4 Lions.
Faye Cowling, the all-rounder, comes to the crease now. She's a very hard hitter in the same mould as Van der Schyff, and one just feels This is the partnership now for the Lions, the key one. 73 needed to win. Cowling has to get in, she has to stay in, and she needs to score, one imagines, 30 odd. Well, it's got to be considerably better than a runner ball, with the rate required now 10.4 to the over.
Yeah, it's gone up, and that previous over went well with the boundary earlier on and the two that they ran and the one, but a wicket as well also just changes things. Takes back that momentum by Titans just to bring it back, just to keep this Lions batting intact.
It was a good partnership between Tabete and Filion Low of 46. Tabete played her role, but has just got out at a bit of an important junction, one feels. So, Nzuza to Filion Low. Oh, again, just down leg from Nzuza. Must have got something. No. Maintain their disciplines. Nicely clipped by Cowling out to the cow corner, running in from the boundary. Just the one.
Yeah, and that shot from Cowling just shows you the kind of batter that she is, because she's very skillful as well with the bat. I mean, early days, and she could just come in and clip that just over that mid-wicket region.
Yeah, it was a very good shot for your first ball, Faye Cowling. She's got long levers. She's very dangerous with the bat. I've seen her play some really devastating innings. Oh no, tries the quicker one. She'll get away with it. But not sure why that was necessary.
Yeah, bowlers become greedy sometimes. There was no need for that. And luckily for her, it wasn't hit away. You know, it was supposed to be punished at it.
Yeah, fine leg in the ring. Filion Low will know what a chance that was. This is well struck. Good bit of fielding. Out on the boundary. Batter has slipped and, oh no. I hope Cowling hasn't done herself an injury here. Maybe a bit of cramp.
Yeah, as she just turned it, it looked like I'm hoping that she didn't twist. Look at the pad there. Just hope she didn't. It's not a serious injury. But as she was turning for the second one, she immediately fell there and couldn't come back for the second one.
It was a very smart piece of fielding on the long on boundary by Gabriela Sequeira that saved the boundary. Well, Cowling is having all sorts of stretches done now, which is maybe a good sign that the physio feels that they can manipulate it. If she had really done her knee ligaments or ankle ligaments or something, she would have been in a lot more pain. I think we can be hopeful that Faye Cowling will be okay to continue.
Yeah, there are a bit of stretches there with the physio, a bit of walking it about. Looks like she will be okay to continue, which is great to see, because we wouldn't want to see an injury at this time, in fact, at any time of a season. But young girl who's still got a lot to go in this cricket is Faye Cowling. Very promising. And yeah, looks like she's back and ready to go. But Titans also took up an opportunity for a field as well there to get a bit of strapping on the fingers.
Yeah, as a player of national interest, Faye Cowling has been included in the Proteas squad before, but played a lot for the National Under 19 team. I'm sure she's got a big program of winter cricket coming up. Wouldn't want to miss that. Important stage in her development. So Nzuza will continue to Cowling. Second time Nzuza has to interrupt her over for someone getting injured. First time it was a skipper, Caddy Pryor, after the attempted catch. That's a good call by Filion Low for the quick single. Leg by again.
Yeah, good intended as well. It's good to see that if those boundaries are not coming, if there is a one like that, because the fielders are way deep in the ring. So if you can just touch it here in the sort of center, you do get that one.
Oof. That's a good hit, but Cow Corner's running in. Ooh. Great catch, very well taken And that is the key wicket of Fidelity. Paulina Mashishi with a fantastic catch. Running in from the boundary. It was dipping on her. It was coming quickly. She held her nerve beautifully.
Yeah, what I appreciated there, Ken, is when she ran in, because she was looking like she's running in too quick, she's going to go past it. But at some stage, then picked up that no, the ball is going to go over and managed to just end up taking what is a fantastic catch. We saw a beautiful catch earlier on with Sunet Felyun Low when the Lions were fielding. That one not equally so, but very equally important one because Felyun Low was now looking dangerous, and that catch was taken, which then puts serious now pressure on the Lions team with now 5 wickets down.
Yeah, what I liked about Mashishi's effort was she was so quick off the boundary, got herself into position, and then just needed to make slight adjustments. But it was a really well judged catch. So 6 overs left, and the Lions need 68 runs off those remaining 36 deliveries. It's a steep ask, but Faye Cowling is at the crease. She's been joined by Rosina Manak, and it looks like we are going to have a change of bowling at the West Lane end as Thelma Makubela is going to come on to bowl. Better known as a batter, but she does bowl some sort of part-time spin, Colin. Or was it seam? Medium pace, dibbly-dobblies.
Yeah. I once said to her, you're now a part-time bowler. She wasn't happy with me. So I'll also now equally not say so. I'll leave it to you and say she is a seam bowler. And Manak comes in. Manak fresh from 100 in her last game when she played in that Division 2 competition in Pretoria. In Bloemfontein.
Who was she loaned out to?
She was loaned out to Eastern Province, and she kept for them and opened the batting for them and scored a beautiful 100 on the last day, which is last week Saturday. Last week Friday, in fact.
Well, Makubela just struggling to get going here a bit.
I remember that Manak, her brother, plays for the Warriors down in EP. So maybe it was a little bit of a reunion, family reunion down there, that she then was loaned out to the women's side while the brother is playing for the men's team.
Father Hussein is on the Lions board. Oh, that's a bottom edge. That's scooted past the wicketkeeper, Simone Lawrence, and it goes for 4.
That shot and then that nick just underneath the bat also just shows you maybe. Yeah, these two are seriously under pressure. At 10.9 runs required. There's seriously no time to waste. After this being the 15th over that's being bowled, they'll be way, way, way behind, and they're going to need to do something with those 5 wickets in hand.
Cowling hitting them all well, but just for one feels that she's going to be the key here. But Manak, as you say, confidence will be high. She could maybe get herself in and contribute as well as she gets going.
Yeah, and talk about a comfortable time for Thelma to bowl, where the batting team is the one that is under pressure in terms of runs. All she needs to do as a bowler is just put it out there, and if they're just getting those 1 runs, that's enough. She's done enough.
Ooh. It ends up being a very useful slower ball. Totally looping and dipping on the batter. And if I'd been the bowler, I might even had a little bit of a shot for LBW there.
Yeah, I immediately looked at Mr. Joe Kluti there Mr. Hendricks there at square leg, and no, they signaled a normal ball.
That's quite a party chick if she can pull that off consistently. Makubela. Yeah, it just, we spoke about what a talented cricketer she is as a batter, but this just adds a second string to her bow and makes her a very handy package as indeed.
Yeah, very rare those players, cricket players who can give you, not just one-dimensional, who can be, nowadays fielding is standard procedure. As a cricket player, you must be able to field.
Nicely timed by Manak, and she's placed it very nicely as well in the gap behind screen on the offside for a couple of runs to get her underway. 15 overs gone. It's 70 for 5, 57 needed or 5 overs. And to take us home, it will be Ane Haverga joining Colin Koa.
Yeah, and they're close, man. It looks far, but they're close because if you compare, after 15 overs, they were 80 runs for 6. So 70 for 5, you feel maybe not. But remember, there was those big hits that were being done by Van der Schaaf after in these last 5 overs. And that's where she managed to just make sure that score goes up to what it was at 126. So if anything, Lions would need to then learn that at this stage, this is when the Titans let loose. Oh, this time connects it beautifully, and it's going to go all the way for 6. And this is exactly the kind of start they would need in an over. In these last 5 that's remaining, with 10.5 runs required and over, they're going to need those. And beautifully hit Cowling by Faye Cowling that for 6. Connected it beautifully at the end.
Yes, I think it's important, as you said, with the Titans ladies, Christel van der Schaaf step up when it was needed, and the Lions will need a similar hero today. That was definitely a good start from Faye Cowling, and I've said earlier today, she's such incredible young talent, and wow.
This time Mr. Hendricks calls it wide because it's bowled down wide. There's a bit of a wild throw, but fortunately there's somebody backing up there, and it's called a wide. So with that 6 and the wide, there's still 5 more balls to go in this over. Gets picked up, and a bit of an attempt there from the fielding, coming back for 2 runs. Yes, they're going to make it comfortably. Good running between these two, Manak and Cowling, showing some youth running around, which is something that's been missing in the batting in terms of running between the wickets.
Good effort there from Tiani van der Reuvel, but the ball just overhead, but it was actually much closer than I initially thought it was going to be. Small chances like that. I don't think it was entirely into her hands there, but a lot can still change, and I think this is a very exciting period, always the back end of the innings.
Yeah, this time Manak just plays it nicely on the ground to that fielder long on. It was an attempt for a second run, but I think that would have been criminal, but they just pick up 1. Oh, Zuza dives for that. It would have been a brilliant catch if she had gotten her hand to it, but it was, I think, wider than she could get. And she's not the shortest lady on the field there, but good attempt from her.
Yes, and it definitely feels with the ground becoming more and more fuller that there's a buzz in the air.
It's definitely a beautiful day. I mean, you come out here, you intentionally looking to watch the legends play, but there's a beautiful women's game being played earlier on, so you're getting 2 for the price of 1. Good pick up there, but it's hit straight to the fielder, Thelma Makubalo, who's at long at the boundary there, and they just managed to run 1 run, and they finished the over, which is the 16th over, and the score is 83 runs for 5.
I think it's something Ken and I spoke earlier about, and you mentioned now as well, this getting a 2-for-1 deal with this women's game. Obviously, we're all here for the Legends game later on. But what a lovely initiative to get the women out here. They could have easily, a lot of other teams could have played, or opportunities, and that would also have been spectacular and with a different intent. But I just absolutely love that the intent was there to put the women out there today, because as I said, I'm really surprised with how full it is, even if people are here for later. I haven't seen a women's game this full for like a domestic game, so lovely initiative.
Yeah, no, definitely. Great initiative and good advertisement for women's cricket. I mean, women's cricket in South Africa has grown by leaps and bounds, and we are amongst now the leading women playing nations in the world. So this is good to see that even at this level. Kubalo comes back to the attack, bowling from the main grandstand end and bowling to Manak, who's just hit that in the gap there in the covers, because they've got the fielder there who's at the boundary. And she's just hit it straight to her to just pick up the 1 run. There was that swing because Cowling's got those long levers, and she wanted to hit that definitely out of the park, but didn't quite connect it. But they'll be happy Titans that they just managed to pick up 1.
Oh, a bit of a wild swing, but as you say, with her long arms, and she almost middled that. And if she middled that, we could have seen the damage she done earlier.
Yeah, good bowling that from Thelma. Just those dot balls and those ones, it's exactly what the Lions are not looking for at this stage. They want to be running, they want to be getting boundaries, because with 12 runs and over required from them, they really, really do not have time.
Oh, and a welcome edge that's going to run for 4. There was a fielder, but just not entirely in the position there to either cut it off or to catch it. So that edge is going to do some damage as it went for 4. And still 2 more balls left of this over.
Yeah, 2 more balls left from this over. I mean, 20 balls left overall in this game. 38 runs to win. Very much possible, but it will be made even more possible by hitting boundaries. And Thelma bowls a wide one, gives them an extra ball, takes that now to 37 runs to win. And it will be a welcome wide for the Lions. They'll take runs whichever way they come now.
I think you made a very important earlier observation with the fact that even though the required run rate is quite low the required run rate is quite high and the current run rate is quite low compared to that, the Lions aren't completely out of this. They do have a decent partnership at the moment, and there has been a few wides and extras that's been creeping in as well.
Yeah, there is an attempt to come back for second, and there is going to comfortably make it home is Cowling. Again, Cowling goes on the ground, but this time it's a clash between her and the bowler, the Thelma. But both, fortunately, nothing wrong. They're both up and ready to go again, so that's always good to see.
Yes, and as I've just mentioned, there's been a nice partnership between the 2 batters out in the middle. It's currently standing at 33 runs, the partnership, which is 1/3 of the total. So a very nice partnership here at the back end of the innings, and they would definitely like to keep it this way.
Yeah, this time she gets clipped towards that mid-wicket vacant area, especially in the ring, because the fielder is outside of the ring at the boundary. But it ends the over, and it ends the 17th over with a score 93 for 5. Now there's 18 balls left, which is 3 overs, and there's 34 runs to win.
At a stage, the DP World Lions women were 8 for 3, and quite for a very long period, as there was numerous dots and maiden overs. So to see them lose just 2 more wickets for 85 runs, that is quite impressive. To be honest, I didn't really see themselves picking themselves up after the 8 for 3 at that stage. But as I said, 85 runs later and only 2 wickets in that 85 runs, that is very promising.
Yeah, remember Titans got to their 100 with just 2 overs to go. So in the 2 overs, that's where they picked up the other 26 runs. And this time it's beautifully played by Manak, just clipping it and a couple of bounces, and it gets 4 runs. It's a good start. Good. This is exactly what they need, Lions. They get those boundaries early on in the over. It sort of sets the tone. And they are now on 97, getting close to that 100. So to just show you how very much possible it is, as I mentioned earlier, Titans reached their 100 in the 18th over. So they are 97. They could be just way over 100 after the 18th over, which tells you that Lions are still very much in this game. A good call that by Manak. Faye Cowling was ready to run, but good communication, and she backed her a partner there who said no run, because you could see that the ball is going straight to a fielder behind Cowling. Oh, there's an attempt to dive. Good attempt there, but they just managed to get 1 run. But good to see the commitment. Good to see that fielders are prepared to go for that. And Chanel Fenter just having a dive there, but not getting there. But good to see, man. I'm sure the bowler and the captain will be very much happy with that attempt.
Yes, and she was definitely much closer than I initially. Great attempt by her. Making the Lions batters at the moment rethink maybe 1 or 2 of their choices, as they can see that the Titans players are still energetic and ready to put up a fight and take the catches. So play it a bit more safe.
Yeah, Faye Cowling now heading straight to a fielder there, and no run. And currently, as we said earlier on, with just now 2 overs left in this 18th over, 14 balls actually left in this game, but 29 runs to win. It's straight and pierces that gap beautifully. There is going to be a chase with the fielder, but the ball is going to win the race there. And that's a welcome for Lions, and that brings the 100 up, 102, with just 1 ball left in this 18th over.
Yes, and you've mentioned it numerous times now, but that 100 for the Titans ladies came a ball, 2 balls later, only in the 19th over, so actually just ahead.
Oh, another beautiful shot by Faye Cowling. Then it pierced that to finish this 18th over and take the score for Lions. DP World Lions are now 106 for 5 after 18 overs. 2 overs left, 12 balls exactly left, 21 runs. Remember, Titans got their 26 runs in 2 overs. They basically need now 21 runs in 2 overs. A very good stage now. I'm sure this crowd is enjoying this game, enjoying where it is. And I would love to hear what your thought is. Who do you back now at this stage, given the situation? Who do you think has got a more chance to win this game?
Objectively, I think the Titans, but in the last few overs, I definitely felt that the momentum has been on the Lions side. So if the momentum keeps going, I'm actually going to back the Lions. But if there's a wicket or something like that, I do think that's going to break that momentum, and then the Titans are again in a very good position. So that's my take on things. And who are you backing?
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned earlier on, as much as Manak is also middling it nicely, it would be good to just, because earlier on, remember when Titans was batting, we said if Van der Scape has the strike, they've got a chance. And that's exactly what happened to get to the 126 that they scored. And I think the way it's looking now, Cowling looks like the danger one, even though Manak is also getting a few boundaries there and there with those switch and reverse sweeps that she was doing. But at this stage, I think you're 100% right. I would quite agree with you at this stage. They'll be happy with that one as Lions, and I think Cowling is the person they would want to have on the strike. She seems to be, with those long levers, managing to hit it, and immediately you can see from the Titans fielders, they've now pulling fielders out of the ring. They've got 4 outside catching, and it's exactly in those areas. There's one there in the cow corner. There's one in the long on and long off. There's one there by a square leg, just ready for that pull. So they know that she can middle it.
100%.
And this one is hit straight to that long on, long off, and they just managed to pick up one. And Paulina Mashishi, the bowler, is also an experienced kind of bowler. I mean, she's been in these kinds of situations with Titans before, and she's one of those recognized bowlers in this Titans team. So she's also not a Mickey Mouse behind the ball. And this time it hit straight to the fielder. Bit of a shy, but Manak has managed to just come back safely and made it home safe.
Yes, and as you see, the ball hitting the batter there in the fielding attempt. And that's what I do love about a crowd that is pulling up and getting together, the whole crowd almost in sympathy for the batter who was hit there by the ball, and you can just hear the whole crowd giving a roar there.
Yeah, a bit of a swing again there from Cowling, but not enough, fortunately again for her, because either middle it and go over the boundary, or if, like that one, just half hit, but manage a few bounces before that fielder, who actually is waiting for that catch.
Yes, that ball was definitely given some airtime, and that has given the fielder opportunity to catch.
This time Manak picks it up also, not middling it, but just managing to get at one. So it gets them close. There's one ball left in this over. You would have wanted, for Lions' sake, to at least chase in the last over a single run digit, not double figures. That becomes slightly a bit difficult. But in Titans' case, they would be happy with what they've got so far. They would want a dot ball. And now, if actually Cowling just hitting that straight to the fielder, they just managed to get one run to end this over, which is the 19th over. And the score is 112 for 5 wickets down. So there's one left over, which means 15 runs to win from 6 balls.
I think that's a very important point that you made, that they were looking for single digits definitely for that last over. And I think, contrary to what I said earlier, in that sense, I do think that Titans are maybe in a bit more favourable position at the moment. Because just looking at the trajectory of things, the Lions will have to hit 2 or 3 boundaries in this over. The previous over, it didn't look like they were going to hit 2 or 3 boundaries. And at this stage, it will be quite a tall task to ask to hit 2 or 3 boundaries just to get them in a position to possibly win this game. It's unfortunately not going to be singles, or even if they run 2 runs per ball, it's not going to happen. So boundaries will need to flow, and I do think maybe that's one step too far.
Yeah, it looks like this last over from the Hanops River will be bowled by Mgwenya, who bowled the first over from that very same end. She'll be finishing off bowling now to Cowling. They need 15 runs in this last over. And Mgwenya, as I mentioned with Paulina Mashishi earlier on, Mgwenya is also one of those recognized bowlers for this Titans team. Good experience, has been carrying this lineup for Titans this whole past season. Ooh. There's a dive there from the keeper, but there's an attempt to come back for the second run. Good running between these two, and Cowling makes it comfortably home, and it looks like it is bet that got involved there, because Empire, Mr. Rian Hendricks, signals that it is from the bat, so it is runs. 13 runs from 5.
Oh,
Mgwenya there looking to appeal there, but immediately no time to appeal because she had to go do the fielding, because somebody must get the ball. And these two were quite sharp, Manak and Cowling, and they just quickly squeezed in a run there.
yes, and also Simone Lawrence doing a great job there behind the stumps, trying to get the ball as quickly as possible to the stumps, a possible run out. She also looked at the umpire to see if he maybe budged, but the batters were safe. So great keeping there from Simone Lawrence as well.
Yeah, let's see what the response is going to be now from Mgwenya with these 4 balls left. The game is still not over yet. 12 runs to win, 4 balls left. And the field is now being packed in the middle. There's now 3 fielders outside of the ring with the boundary, with that long on and long off, and that deep mid-wicket waiting for that big swing from Manak. And it looks like Mgwenya is also now going to pull the other fielder who was at square leg to say go to the boundary as well. So she's got 4 outside of the ring, and has got 5 inside the ring. That obviously exclude the keeper. There's that shot again by Manak. She was trying to just get it and clip it over that field at 45. They're going to come back for the second run,
Great
and
running.
they make it home, which is exactly what we've been missing earlier on, especially with the Titans team or the earlier batters of Lions, that running between the wickets.
It's a very important point that you make with the earlier batters of the Lions. Wow, there was 2 or 3, almost 4 overs they went for maidens. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 runs in those overs. What a difference wouldn't have that made to the score, as we currently look at 3 balls left and 10 runs to win.
Bit of a step away from Manak, hits it straight, and no throw. I think a bit of a wise choice there. I mean, why take the risk of overthrows, looking at where the fielder is the backup fielder, Mashishi, there at the boundary. So a bit of a wise choice there by, good choice in fact, by the fielder there, just to say, maybe let's not risk it. They need 9 runs in 2 balls.
So, as I said earlier, there has to be 2 boundaries to... There's a lot of ways this can play out, but potentially 2 boundaries for the Lions to win this game, and we always know that this was going to be the case. There has to be a boundary or 2 in this last over.
Ooh. There's your boundary, Anna Havenga. There's the boundary that you've called for, and they get that 4 runs, and they'll take those 4 runs beautifully welcomed by Lions. They now need 5 runs from this last over. And one thing from Mgwenya for sure is you don't need to bowl a no ball now.
And I know this is a bit of an exhibition game and a friendly, but surely we can work in a super over. Go 1 more 4 and just before the legends start. Unfortunately, even with the Pro 50 and the Pro 20 series, there is no super over for women in these domestic leagues. So today is even more unlikely to see that. But it is always fun for a little super over.
Yeah, let's see. The crowd is also involved. Everybody's in. There's this last ball to go. 5 runs to win. Bit of clapping hands from the crowd there. And it's hits, and it's gone all the way, and it is a 6, and Cowling wins it for the DP World Lions.
Wow.
What a shot to finish this beautiful game that we've been watching between the Titans, Fidelity Titans ladies versus the DP World Lions. Wow, what a game.
I'm speechless. I don't think there's anything I can say that's going to do this justice. Hopefully, you all saw it on your screen. You followed it. The DP World Lions were out of this game for countless of overs, and Faye Cowling steps up. Young player, she's been in the South African setup, and what a player to look out for. And this is what I love about sport: the crowd erupting, the players rushing onto the field. How can you not be entertained?
Yeah, what a beautiful game to watch. You had to be here to see it and believe it, but fantastic game. Remember, we still got another game coming up, the Legends game, but I seriously enjoyed this game here. For me, what a great advert for women's cricket in this country. It just shows you how much strength. This here shows us how much we've got as South Africa as a country in terms of women's cricket. These are women who are still fighting their way to make the Proteas team. And for them to play beautiful cricket like this, it means our future is safe.